Welcome into the MASL right here on MASL TV. It's the Tacoma Stars taking on the Empire Strykers. Peyton Barons alongside me, Derek Johnson. Derek, we have a wonderful doubleheader weekend matchup between these two sides where the Tacoma Stars really got to get their stuff together and try and get some wins because they're coming in this so far with one win so far on the season. Empire on the other side of things, they're looking great. They're looking where the Tacoma Stars want to be. So between these two teams, how's this matchup looking out in your eyes?
Both teams really need this game. For Empire, it kind of solidifies themselves in the playoff mix. For Tacoma, they're scrambling. They need to find some points. They need to start to climb the ladder on the table. But really, both these teams need this weekend. They need this weekend to go well, and it's going to be a really challenging weekend, especially with the timetable, the travel back down to Ontario, and what these teams have to face tonight and tomorrow.
And you being a former player, you know what it's like to do these back-to-back nights. Somebody that I'm really curious about is the Tacoma Stars goalkeeper, Chris Toth, and how's that going to be manageable to try and do 2 games, 24 hours apart, back-to-back sort of situations where Empire, they have a rotation of 3 goalkeepers that they can use at any given time, but the Tacoma Stars are so reliant on Chris Toth. What's this weekend going to be like for him?
Chris Toth has all the experience to be able to make that happen. I think if there's one guy that Tacoma can be confident in doing the double, it's a guy like Toth. Lots of experience. He's from Southern California, so it's comfortable to come back home. I think there's a little bit of an edge there that Tacoma has. I think for the rest of the Tacoma players, it's going to be very difficult. It's something that, after the Milwaukee game, the squad might be a little bit lighter in terms of guys that are playing tonight or can be available this weekend. So I think for the rest of the Tacoma squad, they're going to lean on guys like Chris Toth that know how to handle a weekend like this one.
Other guys that they're going to lean on is somebody like a leader like Nick Pereira. Earlier today, I was able to sit down and chit-chat with Nick Pereira about what this weekend means to the Tacoma Stars. Take a look here. Hey everybody, I'm Peyton Barons, the voice of the Tacoma Stars, and sitting with me for the Coach's Show tonight is the one and only Nick Pereira. Nick, coming off of last week's game, tempers flew a little bit in Milwaukee. How is this team kind of responding, and what kind of do you want to mention about what went down last weekend?
Yeah, I think, listen, we were very competitive, so were they. I think it was a fantastic game of soccer. I think anybody who saw that game just saw what a spectacle we put on. The events that unfolded after, I think, were regrettable, but I think both teams will take what happened off the field and move on fairly quickly from it, knowing that it was a momentary flare-up, and we'll move on with our lives. And I think that we have a really good show in February 8th when they come back into town. It'll be a really good match for everybody involved.
Now we look at tonight and this weekend, and it's a doubleheader against the Empire Strykers. Home and home. We're up here in Tacoma tonight. Tomorrow it's a trip down to California. How do you prepare for these kind of games, and how do you strategize for back-to-backs like this? Is it multiple plan A, plan B, plan C based on how these games go, or do you create your game plan and you stick to your guns both games?
Yeah, I think it's really easy to look at both games as a whole and start to think that what happens on Friday or Saturday affects Sunday. I think the most important thing for us, at least the way we've taken it, is you've got to compartmentalize those games, focus on winning today, and then deal with what you have when the game ends and start to plan for tomorrow. I think that each game will take on its own identity and its own life. So for us, it's about how do we get a win at home? How do we prepare best for what we have today, knowing that tomorrow the turnaround is a nightmare, right? The game will end tonight at 8:30 or 9. We'll get on a plane 6 or 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll get there at 11 or whatever it is, and we'll play at 4. So it's a nightmare for both teams, and we're going to try our best to make sure that all of our efforts and energies are built on around tonight, and we'll worry about tomorrow.
Now, it's not the start that you wanted to see for the Tacoma Stars, and we've seen years past where we haven't got off to hot starts, but we find ourselves in this situation. How do you turn the ship? How do you make this team get onto a run going into the playoffs?
I think that there's a really interesting narrative about the stats, right? If you look at the games that we're won, and right now we're 1-5-2, I think, you'd say, what a horrible team, and they're doing so badly right now. But if you look at the games, first off, the opponents we're playing 3 times against San Diego, 2 times against Chihuahua, 2 times against Empire away on back-to-back weekends, 1 time away at Milwaukee. If you look at that schedule in itself, and in years past, by the way, our win was against San Diego, which we hadn't beaten San Diego at home in years. So if you look at those schedules and you look at things, you would say, I don't think you're going to pick up a lot of points in that that one. We know in February we have 7 home games in a row. We have some different opponents that are coming into town that are not our traditional opponents. So we always knew that it was going to be a slow start. I think we would have liked to have been right now 3-4 or 3-5 if we needed to be. So the reality is that all these games are coming down to 1-goal games. There was 1 blowout in Chihuahua, but other than that, everything's really been narrow down to the fourth quarter. So we're definitely not disheartened, and we don't feel like this is going the wrong way. We feel like we're right at the precipice of the mountain, about to flip over the top of the edge. And we know as a team that once we flip over the top of that edge, that it's going to be smooth sailing for us.
Some big games this weekend against the Empire Strykers. It all kicks off tonight. Kickoff just a few minutes away. It's the Tacoma Stars hosting the Empire Strykers right here on MASL TV. The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on MASL TV, and MITRE is the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, MITRE is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. Peyton Behrens and Derek Johnson here at the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington, as the Tacoma Stars are ready to host the Empire Strykers in the first matchup of a doubleheader weekend between these same two sides. That's some interesting start to the night, Derek, here at the Showwear. A little power outage in one of our electrical rooms caused no microphone available for the national anthem over the PA, no public address going on. It feels like we've gone into a time capsule and gone back in time, and we're watching soccer before technology has ever taken over. Of course, we are still on this broadcast, but within the arena, you know, this is something interesting. There's no music over the top. It's just crowd noise and ball ready to be played. I kind of like it.
I loved the Nick Pereira PA announcement from midfield, though. He raised his voice, got the crowd's attention, got everyone in line for the national anthem. Well done, Coach Nick.
And he comes out with the team and, yes, announces everything to the entire crowd just using his voice. Another one of the most special things about Nick Pereira. He gets the job done no matter what it is. If you need an assist, if you need a goal, if you need a fill-in PA guy, Nick Pereira is your man.
He really does it all.
Nick Pereira, though, is scratched from the lineup today. He was set to go during warm-ups, and right now he is in street clothes, and it looks like he's been replaced by Alessandro Canale. So Canale will be getting the start here with the Tacoma Stars. An interesting roster. Yes, we know that there was a little bit of a skirmish down in Milwaukee, so the Tacoma Stars are facing this game without a handful of players due to that. Most notably, Stefan Mijatovic and Roman Torres, Luis Beretta are not available for today's game. Chris Toth will be in the goal for the Tacoma Stars. Out in the field will be Chase Hansen, Alex Caceres, Nani Mendoza, Mike Ramos, rounding out that starting six. And on the Empire Striker side, Jorge De Leon, Justin Stinson, Mo Gaye, Alan Perez, Clayson De Lima, and Robert Palmer are the six out there, with De Lima being in the net. Robert Palmer, such a talented defender. And, I talked to Logan Jones. You're going to see a little bit of that interview during halftime. And Logan Jones, gave a tip of the cap, gave a nod to Robert Palmer as one of those defenders that he kind of looks to as one of those just rocks of MASL and a very talented defender. And, it's always good to see high-caliber defenders come in and play against these Tacoma Stars. And I'm excited to see what Robert Palmer does tonight.
Yeah, and a former Tacoma Star, former teammate of mine, a guy that I certainly respect a lot. And not just for his play, but tenure in the league and the leadership that he provides this team. Obviously, being with Kansas City for a long time, kind of a staple of their organization. but he's been a rock for Empire, and obviously gone last season, but having him back this year, and you see Empire's record, I would allocate a lot of praise to Robert Palmer for what he's done with that team.
So it looks like we're still working through some of the kinks of some technical difficulties within the ShoWare Center. The players are all ready to go. Starters are out on the field. Our referees are talking things over. And I'm double checking with in-building staff if video review will still be in action tonight. And it looks like Chris Toth is going to be maybe a scratch as well from the starting lineup at least. And it looks like Donald Mocht is getting the start for the Tacoma Stars. He's wearing the number 1 green jersey off to the left-hand side of the camera. But Donald Mocht will be in the goal. Chris Toth is not starting at least the first match of this doubleheader weekend. So there goes a little bit of what we talked about in the pregame about Chris Toth being able to do the double. We are underway. And Palmer is going to thigh this down to Stinson. Remember, Stinson played about 8 games with the Tacoma Stars last year. Ramos lays it off to the right. Early shot. Stars had a chance to take the lead in the opening 15 seconds. Canale intercepts at the yellow line. It's a good tackle by Stinson. Miss hit by Canale. And scooped up by DeLima.
Good to see Canale back at home here. And you got to think that part of the Pereira scratch and Canale playing tonight is just legs for tomorrow. You have to think about, you have the advantage at home. Maybe you save Pereira, maybe you save Toth. You see Keats down there on the bench. Some of those guys that maybe are saving it for tomorrow, hoping that this squad can get it done at home.
So that's DeLima on the ball all the way up into the attacking third. Look at how high he's pushing onto a wing. I mean, you see goalkeepers cross the midfield stripe a lot. Toth does it a lot, and here's a long ball into the area. But DeLima, that far down on the right side boards, that's impressive.
I will go back to probably 2011, 2012 PASL Tacoma Stars at San Diego Soccer's. Leighton O'Brien wore the 6th attacker jersey, and Tacoma started the game in a 6th attacker, and I believe lost by a goal. So there's the archive. It has happened before. I've seen it happen where a team comes out like this and just plays with the 6th attacker.
The human history book, Derek Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I need someone to fact check that on the year. I would love to know if I was accurate there.
That would be Pete Richmeyer, and we'll be bringing that up to him next time that we come across him. Checking too, this is Hansen. And I mean, when you're able to keep this sort of spell of possession, your goalkeeper can now, DeLima is the highest player all the way up the field. And this is what you love about MASL. You get so much challenge flag on the field. Stars want an infraction for too many men. That flag came out quick.
Yeah, you could tell the reaction from the Stars bench. Sometimes that's all you need to see. It's really difficult to pick up on that if you're the referee with the substitution, but when you notice the whole team react and the flag go that quickly, I would expect that there's an extra guy on the field here for Empire.
And we'll wait to see if we get clarification. There's no PA in-house. But the blue card has been issued, and
you can see Empire has 4 players on the field here, so it looks like they're anticipating it.
And so now we'll see who gets assessed this blue card penalty. Nobody has made their way over to the penalty box for Empire. And now you're going to see Mogaye head over to the box. So it may have been Mogaye, it may have been somebody else. We don't have the ability to go back and check that at the moment. But the Stars are on the first power play of the night. Mendoza for Moises Gonzalez. Mendoza, this is Caceres. Mendoza, Caceres. Tries to lay across for Spur. Good header, Ramos to finish it. Open scoring, a power play that ends very quickly in favor of these Tacoma Stars.
The cross in the air for a header goal, not something you see very often in indoor soccer, but a great ball into Ramos at the back post. He's waiting in the right spot. The ball comes. Doesn't matter if it's in the air or on the ground. He decided he's got to score that goal.
Take another look. It's Gonzalez setting it up. He's been out a few games, but that's a great ball across the middle. Last time Moises Gonzalez was on the field was down at Chihuahua, where he hit that bicycle kick. Unfortunate loss for the Tacoma Stars, 21-8. But now he's already on the field again, contributing, and he's a guy that the Tacoma Stars need to heavily rely on down this stretch as they try and make a playoff push.
And De Lima up the field again here. Empire looking to come out and play some offense here, 6v5.
Long ball finds Gaia. Jones defending. Rivers plays square. This is Correa. For Ramos, that's his 4th goal on the season. Somebody who's been putting up double digits year after year. He's looking to get back into that sort of category again. Stinson under double team pressure. It's John, it's Canale. Rivers got a little ambitious as they won possession back quickly. That ball didn't make it past the yellow line.
That's the temptation if you're Tacoma. When you win it, you know there's an empty net. Sometimes, especially in a situation like that, Rivers getting a little overzealous, eager to score the goal. Really important that when Tacoma wins possession here, they're able to just put their foot on it, take a deep breath, make the first pass, and if that happens, the goal may be opened up.
Stinson's diagonal ball. Aguirre settles.
Hard to find the ball, though. You're playing basically a possession game down a man. It's really difficult if you're Tacoma to defend it. You're kind of waiting for a turnover, an error like this one here.
High risk, high reward for Empire. Canale turns, gets fouled, and the Stars are going to go for a big line switch. And I mean, looking at it so far, when Empire is able to keep possession for so long, it's hard to get line switches. Mendoza down to the corner. Plays all the way back for Caceres, and the Stars might look to have a spell of possession of their own.
Yeah, and that's one of the rule changes that I've been envious of as a player. When I was playing in this league, there was no substitution on a foul, so you were stuck. And especially if a team like Empire came out and kept the ball, you'd be running around for an endless amount of time before you got your sub. So fortunate for Tacoma that that's not the case anymore. They can get off the field and look to draw that foul.
You know, there's been a handful of rule changes coming to MASL over the last couple of years, and seemingly every single rule is just working in favor of the teams and in favor of the league, and it's benefiting the game clearly. I remember initially about 2 years ago when they first introduced that goalkeeper can only take 1 touch per possession rule. I thought that was going to massively change how the game was played. And I was right, it did, but in such a way that I couldn't even imagine. Caceres tries to clear it out, it's short. Here's De Lima on top of the ball, and he's just going to put it over the top. But I thought that it was going to change the game in such a way that was going to make it almost not resemble a game of soccer. And yet it made it so much more. It enhanced the attack. It now put us into a position where De Lima is getting all the way upfield to join in on the attack and make that 6-5 sort of advantage going on. And you know, I love every rule change so far that has come through the way of MASL.
I completely agree, because if you go back to even the substitution rule on fouls, you'd have teams that may keep the ball like this and just see if they could play possession for 5-6 minutes at a time with no intent to go forward. And it's really eliminated that. You see teams that have to attack, that can only use their goalkeeper one time, that can't recycle it. They have to score goals, and so it makes the game more exciting, more fast-paced. And I think every owner has got to be really thrilled with the changes they've made.
Now, if you go back into your history book of your MASL playing days, who was the team that was just the best at keeping that spell of possession as Guy gets this ball into the corner? Kai Briscoe defends and tries to work it in. What team was the best at just drowning a team in the possession category.
Yeah, I think resetting the ball with Pardo if you're San Diego, I think that's
Ball played into the center. Cisse not able to center that. Excuse me, that's Palmer. Pardon me, Derek. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the big strengths of Boris Pardo, and I recall just him coming out across the yellow line and being a field player, and San Diego is always very effective at running good patterns to run the clock out. You know, they'd have a lead with 5 minutes left and possess the ball for 4 minutes and 45 seconds. It's one of those things that was really common for them and for a lot of teams that were good at holding leads and killing the game off.
Possession poked all the way back to the defensive end that Stinson has to go and chase down. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. 1-0 as it stands. Mike Ramos was able to net a goal on the power play for the Tacoma Stars.
And we have a true sixth attacker on the field here. Looks like route number 60, route 66 is who we have here on the near side.
We'll have to take a look at who's wearing our sixth attacker shirt.
I like it,
Unfortunately, no rostered 66 for the Empire Strykers. Look at this move to be able to rotate your goalkeeper in and out, have a sixth attacker throughout the entire game where every other team in the league seemingly is either just trying to find a goalkeeper that's willing to come out, like DeLima, great save, good poke away. Jones tries to have a little clearance, but Donald Mott is stepping up to the task. But you have Empire, who's kind of revolutionizing what's happening with the six attacker rule and with the goalkeeper, and they're just going to freely go back and forth between having a six attacker on the field and then a goalkeeper running on defensively. It's creative, and that's what we love to see about MASL.
And talk about confidence in your players to possess the ball. All it takes is one errant pass, one bad touch, and you potentially give up a goal. But the coaching staff with Empire really putting faith in their players that they can do the right thing, not make mistakes, and keep the ball in the right areas.
If I'm right, that's with a great shot over the top. That's Jorge De Leon wearing the sixth attacker shirt. So we finally got an ID on the player. It's Jorge De Leon. Under 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. We'll step aside for the media timeout. It's 1-0 Tacoma Stars over the Empire Strykers. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the MASL on MASL TV. Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's Derek Johnson here as a little silent and not a lot of background noise going on right now because of the audio technical difficulties that we are having within the Showwear Center. Usually during these timeouts, you'd be hearing music, games up on the screen, the bongo cam would come out, but handful of technical difficulties, and we have a slightly different environment within the Showwear Center, but we have the Tacoma Stars with a 1-0 lead, capitalized on a power play. Ramos with a header. It was assisted by Moises Gonzalez. But since that, Derek, the Stars have yet to get any sort of real offense rolling.
Really hard to find the ball when you're defending a man down. And I think Empire's doing a great job of imposing their game plan here in Tacoma. And surprising game plan. It's not something you see every day. You typically don't see a sixth attacker until the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter. They've decided they want to start the game this way. And you got to give them credit. They've done a great job of possessing the ball, creating some good chances, being patient. And if you're Tacoma, that's kind of the same message, I think, is be patient. Make sure that when we have the ball, we value it, that we can get Empire back on their heels a little bit. And if the opportunity is on to score an empty netter, go ahead, but don't feel like you need to. And I think that's probably the message that's being shared right now.
Green Drop offers a better alternative than the outdated compression sleeves and socks, truly providing for long-lasting relief at an affordable price. Green Drop's recovery products are uniquely suited to help our athletes battle aching joints and muscles. Learn more or try it yourself by visiting greendropcompression.com. Derek, You played in the earlier whistle game that took place just before this game today. It was the Tacoma Stars Reserves and South Sound FC. I think you could use some green drop recovery there and get you some compression sleeves on. Try and get that blood flow recirculating through yourself and maybe recover just that much faster.
I really could. Yes, standing here with the microphone, I can feel it. So if you had some of that right now, I'd certainly use it.
Kudos for you for doing the double today. You know, you play a full game on the field, jump up into the booth, and you're going to have another one on the mic. We love to see that sort of dedication.
I survived. I survived. That's all that matters.
We can get you a shirt like at Disneyland. I survived the double at the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington.
Give me a trophy.
Just about to get back underway. Tacoma Stars are going to have the ball here on the restart. See Eddie Na on the field with Mendoza, Mike Ramos, Alex Caceres, and Adrian Correa. Correa hiding in the corner. Donald Mock in the goal. Some interesting... And Mock comes all the way out of the area.
Oh, no. I have seen this before. Rookie goalkeeper thinking they have until the end of the arc. They do not. They have until that white line there, and he stepped beyond it. So better to do it on the dead ball restart and get another shot. If this happened in the run of play, it would have been a top-of-the-arc restart. So good that it happened now and not later.
Look at Donald Mock. He's learning on the fly. We love to see things like that. And you're going to have a few different players, a few different faces in this game. We're missing Nick Pereira right now. Marco Fabian did not travel with Empire, and that's a guy who owns the Tacoma Stars. I mean, nearly 3 points a game when it comes to Marco Fabian playing against the Tacoma Stars. He's an incredible talent, world-class in every aspect of the word, and when he plays against the Tacoma Stars, he really shows it off.
And you got to think the Nick Pereira scratch has something to do with that. They realize that Fabian's not here. He's going to be fresh tomorrow. So if you're going to match Empire tomorrow, it might be a good idea to keep Nick Pereira fresh.
Mock used his touch in the defensive half. But Empire back on top of the ball now. Stars still have the same 5 on the field since the timeout. De Leon slides on wearing the 6 attacker shirt. And this year, change to the rule with your goalkeeper exiting the field. Last year, there was a rule in play that once your goalkeeper made a direct line towards the bench, your 6 attacker could come on. That rule changed slightly when Chris Toth made an attempt to go towards the bench, and Jamel Cox jumped onto the field, stole a free kick from San Diego, and went in on an empty net to tie the game late in the 4th quarter. It was an incredible game, incredible moment, but it turned out to be a rule-changing moment. So now you got to wait till the goalkeeper gets all the way to the bench area before you make that 6 attacker change. Mendoza, he's got an empty netter. He looks downfield. He connects with Jones. Oh, it was almost a Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson moment.
Oh, Jones will want that back. Great run to get up the field. Great ball into space. And just an inch or 2 away.
Logan's going to be kicking himself over that one because I don't know if he's had an easier chance at goal. Wide open, empty netter. All he had to do was head it in the right direction. This is John. Caceres goes square. This is Kai Briscoe, the University of Washington product. Ball splits the defense. Tyler John can't get on it, but Hernandez does. Stinson really running things like a point guard out here. He puts himself into the center of the field. Every other ball is running through him. He's the last man back, and he's really just collecting everything, calm, cool, collected, making sure everything runs smoothly. Spur wins possession. De Leon caught out. He's in the goal as the 6 attacker who has the ability to use his hands. Spur goes to John. It's a 2-on-1 with De Leon in the goal, and he powers it just past the far side post. Briscoe wins back possession. And Stinson's going to pull him down with a foul. It's a tactical foul, but you almost got to wonder if there's a blue card situation. Gonzalez takes the free kick quick before De Lima can get back. The Stars capitalize. It's 2-0.
Clever, gets the ball down. Usually in indoor soccer, you get a restart, you take your time. But when the 6 attacker's running off the field and the goalkeeper is trying to get on, you better shoot it right away, and that's what he did. Unfortunate for Empire. This is the risk they're willing to take, and De Leon just doesn't get there in time, and it's 2-0 Tacoma.
So Gonzalez has a goal and an assist now. In that situation, Stinson's in front of the ball, but he's at the, say, legal distance that the wall should be back. If you know your goalkeeper's changing, you got to step on that ball and maybe risk taking that blue card so you don't just give up the empty netter in that situation.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, soccer is such a habitual game. There's things you go through all the time, and that's not something that you think about. You know, if you're standing in front of the ball, here we go, 2v3.
Hansen slows it down.
But if you're standing in front of the ball, you're thinking, okay, I just want to deny the passing lane. I don't want to let this ball go forward. You're not thinking, man, maybe I should take a blue card because my goalkeeper isn't on the field yet. So that's not usually something that's going through your head. So yeah, Stinson may want that one back, but not something he was thinking about.
Stinson plays back around the outside. Now it goes centrally. This is Hernandez. And a boarding foul on Kyle Rivers. He's going to go 2 minutes into the box. Derek, what do you think on that challenge? Was that a soft blue card, or are we seeing an earned blue card here for Kyle Rivers?
That looked a little bit soft, but it also looked a little bit eager. You can't allow any gray area if you're defending there along the boards. And Rivers lunges in, and when you do that, it's 50-50. Either they're going to give you the blue or they're going to let it go, and that time they decided 2 minutes for Kyle Rivers.
So now Robert Palmer is going to be wearing the 6th attacker shirt. I mean, are they swapping out the same attacker jersey, or do they got multiple on the bench? Because this is incredible use of the 6th attacker that they have.
Well, let's see if this is Route 66 or Interstate 5. It looks like Palmer has his own 6th attacker jersey, so 51.
We're just carrying endless amounts on the bench. So a 6th attacker against the 4 Tacoma Stars on the power play. 2 minutes. As Kyle Rivers sits in the sin bin. Left-footed shot. Mach did a good job to be able to keep it out. Stinson still on top of the ball. Perez plays back for Palmer. Palmer maybe looks to take a shot, but it's a skip pass for De Leon. De Leon's shot. Mach steps up to it. John's just going to clear this ball down, but Palmer's got some speed. I think he's going to get there. Gives himself about 5 feet, uses his hands, picks it up, and rolls right back out. A minute to go in the power play. Aguirre, top of your screen. This is Guy. John with another left-footed clearance. Jones is going to try and chase it down. He's giving Palmer a run for his money. Palmer is just kind of maybe looking to take a foul, but John's going to poke it away. John slides. He scores. Short-handed, the Tacoma Stars go up 3-0. They were playing a 6-on-4 disadvantage and still managed to find a goal. Wheels are falling off early for Empire.
What an effort from Logan Jones to get all the way down the field, put Palmer in an uncomfortable situation, and then Tyler John recognizes it. He doubles. The ball rolls around the boards, and he makes sure that's headed to the back of the net. Great play from Jones and John there. And also a difficult play to not foul. Palmer's looking for it. He's kind of rolling the ball into the boards, looking for the foul, seeing where it's going to come from. And Jones and John are able to stand him up, get a little poke on the ball, and Tyler John does the rest.
This is a lot of what the Tacoma Stars needed. Tyler John is going to exit the field. I think he's got some blood, so they're going to try and maybe get him a new jersey and tape that up. Hansen slides onto the field. So Tacoma Stars are still on the penalty kill for the next 37 seconds. They are up 3-0, and they got 90 seconds remaining. We're just in the first quarter here at the ShoWare Center.
Yeah, just anecdotally, it seemed the 6th attacker this early on a man up just seems very unnecessary in my book. You run the risk of giving up that goal and going 3-0. The chances that you get one back on a 5v4 power play are pretty high. And the game could have ended up 2-1 Empire. Instead, you're down 3-0, hoping you can find one here in 15 seconds.
Diaz drops back. De Leon. This is Aguirre settling. Power play over. Rivers back on. Shot from distance. Deflected. It's into the plexiglass. Bouncing ball. Mock is going to slap it into the air. Correa tries to settle. Thought he got fouled going forward. No call. Stars got to resettle. DeLima came back onto the field. And now he's going to walk all the way up and try and join the attack. Leon really didn't want to take that on his left foot. You could see by his body language he was hesitated about 3 times to figure out if he actually wanted to hit that. Stinson. Shot from distance, 5 seconds on the clock. Caceres clears away. The Tacoma Stars are going to go into the second quarter leading 3-0. This is maybe the most commanding performance that we've seen out of the Tacoma Stars so far this season. Well done, excellent first quarter. And I mean, high risk, high reward play from Empire Strykers. And they come out with a big old goose egg after 15 minutes, Derek.
Great execution from Tacoma. Empire looking to impose their will on the game and run the 6 attacker and keep the ball. Tacoma stayed disciplined, were prepared when they had their chances, and find themselves up 3-0.
We'll step aside and take a break. It is Tacoma Stars 3, Empire Strykers 0. Don't go anywhere. You are watching the Tacoma Stars and the Empire Strykers on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso Showwear Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.takomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Take 10, that's all the time you'll need for Eric Bergruds to take you inside the game and get to know some of the big stars advancing the sport on and off the field. 10 for 10 airs weekly on MASL TV. It's 3-0 in favor of the Tacoma Stars here at the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's at Derek Johnson here as we've had some technical difficulties. A very weird night to start off here at the Showwear. We had no PA system in-house to do the national anthem, so they sung a cappella. Some people helped out. Nick Pereira pretended to be a PA announcer, a cappella again, no electronics needed. And now we see a 3-0 after 15 minutes following the entire first quarter of the Empire Strykers trying to have a 6th attacker on the field, and it did not go well in any sense of the word. Derek, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's not a smart game plan so far through this first 15 minutes. I wonder if something's going to change, and we have a brand new goalkeeper in the game right now for the Empire Strykers, which they've done this all season, interchanging their goalkeepers nonstop throughout the entire game, but I've never seen anything like this.
Very, very strange. That's the best way I can describe it. I'm not really sure what I just watched in the first 15 minutes, but I am pleased with the 3-0 scoreline. So we'll see if they continue. I would assume they will. I guess stick to your guns if you believe that this is the best way to go about it. But if you're Tacoma, stay disciplined, win a couple, intercept a couple passes, win a couple 50-50 balls, and hopefully put yourself up 6 at halftime.
And you have a, relatively new, a rookie goalkeeper for the Tacoma Stars in Donald Mock playing. And right now you kept a clean sheet through the first 15 minutes. So I think defensively you got to do everything you can to anchor down, especially when you're going to be playing down a man in every single possession, it seems like. As here's Orozco all the way down these near side boards, playing as seemingly an attacker. I mean, Logan Jones didn't get that far up the field in his entire first 3 years in MASL.
We love the effort, though. He misses the chance early, gets another one, and He made sure that he got there on that second opportunity.
Souza wins a good challenge. Ramos, he's leading a 2-on-2 charge. Quick little step over. He tries to get it on his right foot. Ramos had the first goal of the game today. It was a header that was assisted by this man on the ball, Moises Gonzalez. Gonzalez lays off for Hansen. Trying to go outside the right foot. Lays it back. Gonzalez. It's a great diving effort by Palmer. Gonzalez is going to juggle this ball in the air. He's looking for a little heel flick. Can't find it. And now it's Souza. Plays back. Nah needs to have a good touch here. And he does so. He gets past Palmer. Step over. Nah, shot. No. And a header. It stays out of the goal. Gonzalez trying to volley it down. Chaos in the box. Souza, sliding effort. And Orozco finally has possession of the ball. And we're going to get video review. We're coming back to it. This is referee-initiated video review. Derek, we have a pretty good angle on this ball. I don't know if that thing actually crossed the line on that last sequence, because that's what they're going to go back and check, is if this goal, or excuse me, if this no goal is going to stand, or if they should overturn it to a goal.
That was really close. We have a great vantage point. I honestly am not sure whether it crossed the line or not. And you saw Eddie Nau's reaction. He wants the goal. He's putting his hands up. That went in. I could not tell you. The referee looked like he had a good vantage point. He waved it off. But here we go. We're getting the replay right here.
Oh, perhaps we're not going to be looking at the goal. Maybe this is if Orozco handled the ball outside of the area, or if that's a pass back right there. We're not going to be reviewing the goal. And then after I think about all that, we are actually indeed reviewing the goal here. So take a look as this ball comes all the way down the side. Here's Na. After the step over from Palmer, he has a strike. Here's the header back towards the net. We're not going to be able to tell from that angle. No definitive angle. And I don't know if we'll have an in-house camera that finds that goal line at such an angle that will tell us whether or not that ball was able to cross.
Yeah, as a player, you always appreciated there were some arenas and some teams that actually had someone sitting in the back of the net with a buzzer. And if that ball crossed the line, they were sitting on the line and you'd push the button, the light would go off. Made it very clear. But that review, that angle, pretty difficult to tell.
So no goal. The Stars don't lose a challenge because that was a referee-initiated review. I'm kind of curious on whether or not there was handling outside of the area. But we're ready to restart. Stars leading 3-0, 13:21 to play here in the first half. Tyler John with some heavy pressure. This ball gets dumped down. It's a 3-on-2. Stinson lays off to his right. Right-footed shot. Not strong enough from Hernandez, but he maintains possession against the wall. Correa gets his body in the way. Well done. Stinson on a good challenge. Can't poke it away from Correa, and now it's resettled. Orozco's going to come all the way over the sidelines. 6 attacker slides on. It's De Leon again. An interesting move for the 6 attacker to go all the way to the far side of the field away from the bench area. I think if you're looking to make quick subs, you want to be near the bench. John gets fouled. He's grabbing his leg. Not a good sight right now for Tyler John. He plays at 100 miles an hour, and his body is the one that takes the toll on it time and time again.
Yeah, it's good to have a Tyler John, a Logan Jones, an Adrian Correa, a Kyle Rivers in a game like this. Just really, really athletic guys that can, find the half chance or intercept the pass. You saw Tyler John go press the goalkeeper there earlier. That's what Tacoma is going to need to create those empty net chances.
And Kai Briscoe tries to play that ball up the wall. It hits the corner of the glass. Our referee's going to deem it out of play. Derek, you did a lot of coaching coming up when you were, playing professionally and over the last decade within this area. Did you ever have the chance to coach Tyler John when he was as a youth?
Actually, no. We excuse me. We didn't cross paths from a coaching perspective. We did play one summer together with the Sounders U23. So Tyler and I think were a little bit closer in age than Logan or Kyle Rivers.
Quick foul in the middle. Restart again is underway. Turnover. Caceres plays out for Canale. The net's empty. Rivers can't get on it. Orozco gets all the way back into his own net. Ball played into the middle. Bounces. Hansen. Bicycle goes airborne. Mock. No. Ball still bouncing around as Briscoe couldn't clear. Heavy challenge. Hansen shot, and it beats Mock. 3-1. Empire's back on the board. It was chaos, but Empire was able to score without the sixth attacker pushing himself all the way up the field.
Yeah, it kind of seems like if that's the case for Empire, if they're able to score goals with even strength and not pulling that goalkeeper, do you really need to pull the guy out of the net? That's kind of the argument that I would make if I were a coaching Empire or my analysis, but good for them to get back on the scoreboard here, and Tacoma's got to do a better job in that defensive third of just taking a deep breath, making the right pass, a little bit helter-skelter there in the back, and with a rookie goalkeeper, that's not what you want to see.
No lead is safe in MASL, but when you're playing against a team that's willing to just throw the sixth attacker out there all game long, that saying is absolutely even more true. This is Cisse. Plays all the way back for Palmer. This is Gonzalez. They're just keeping possession, waiting for their moment. Tacoma holding a slightly low block, but they're stepping out of it now. Plays square for Mendoza.
Empire doing a great job of rallying to the ball on turnovers. Good reactions to make sure that Tacoma can't get their head up, find the empty net. When Tacoma wins the ball, it's really important. You get eager. You see the empty net. You want to score a goal. Sometimes it's more important to make the first pass and get out of pressure. You see Empire just jump to the ball and press it when they lose it. They know that what the stakes are. So when that ball hits the boards or it gets turned over, they know it's really important to go press the ball. If Tacoma can just relax, find the ball, find the first pass, all of a sudden maybe it's 3v1 or 3v2 to goal with no goalkeeper.
Stinson, the middleman, plays back for Palmer. Empire seems that they're slowing things down and playing a little bit more on their terms, even more so than they did in the first quarter. Long ball over the top, but they're clearly trying to stretch out Tacoma at this point to find those inner pockets with the extra attacker forward.
Yeah, and Empire losing the ball in this situation is not bad for them. They're able to recover, they get their goalkeeper back. It becomes kind of a normal game. So well done from Empire to not give up a half chance, not give up a bad turnover. If you're going to turn one over, make sure it's one that you can recover from and get back behind the ball.
Stinson chases Spur down defensively. He has a lot of minutes logged so far in tonight's game. Be impressed to see if he's ready to go for tomorrow night.
I'd be impressed to see if anybody is ready to go for tomorrow night. What a turnaround for these two teams.
Yeah, it's one of the amazing things about MASL where these guys are able to turn things around on such a tight schedule. And when you're doing the back-to-back in from Empire to San Diego, that's one thing. But from Tacoma all the way down to Empire, back-to-back, that's going to be a little tough. Briscoe goes flying for a little heel flick. Excites the crowd for the moment. Gonzalez is fouled. Tacoma Stars will have the ball. Big line change coming for the Strykers.
Peyton, I have great memories of doing a Dallas game on a Saturday and St. Louis on a Sunday. And I'm the guy to make sure my body's prepared, I'm nice and hydrated, I have all the right stuff. I was in the locker room the second day at St. Louis pounding a monster so that I would be awake and ready to go. And we won the game, so that's a huge victory for me.
The second game at St. Louis.
The second game at St. Louis.
Canale goes driving through the defense, and it's off the wall. Unfortunate. I thought Canale had himself a lone goal, a wonder goal, but we're going to have a review on the play.
And they're calling for a handball, I think, off the boards, the rebound of the shot. When the Empire player was on the ground, it may have come back and hit him in the arm. So I think that's what we're going to be looking at here.
So it's safe to say after you got the win in St. Louis that the Monster Energy drink stayed in the rotation as a superstition, right? Right before games?
Absolutely not. That was definitely a one-off. So, but no, I remember we got very little sleep, and there was a vending machine, and that was the one caffeinated item, and I was not the only one to partake that night. So there's my shining endorsement for Monster Energy.
So we're looking at Randy Martinez here, 19. This ball's going to come off the boards and to him while he's on the ground, and that ball settles right off of his forearm, and it benefits the Empire Strykers in that situation. When you take a look at the rule of handling, you know, there's one thing if it's incidental and it doesn't benefit the team, but if it is incidental, regardless of where the hands are, they're in an unnatural area versus they are in a natural area, if it benefits your team, that's going to swing things one way, and our refs look like that they have found this call quick. And the Stars are going to lose their challenge. They're going to see that as, you know, it's incidental, it's natural perhaps as he's sliding to the ground. That's not something that these referees saw as an intentional or anything to cause a blue card or a handling situation.
Yeah, I very much disagree with that review. I mean, watching the video back, it may be incidental, but if it's preventing a goal and you've used your arms on the ground, you'd be surprised what a clever player can do to make it look like they didn't stop the ball. But that ball's coming back to Canale. He has a chance to take a touch and finish. And if you catch the ball with your arms in front of the goal, that should be a 2-minute penalty. So not sure what the referees are seeing there, but we'll leave that up to them. Obviously, Toth is a little bit confused as well.
And if you disagree with a call tonight, lucky you, you might just see it on MASL's most controversial show, Under Review with Phil Levanco and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday night on YouTube. So here's that play again. Canale goes on a great run right through the middle of the field. He goes through about 3 defenders before getting that shot off the boards. And I'm surprised that we're able to see so much conversation happening. We did take the media timeout here in between this in this segment.
Yeah, and I will go back to when there's a call like this, you kind of look at the reaction of the players and the fact that Toth is still on the field arguing his case. There's certainly some validity to his argument. And if this was 50-50 or a maybe, I don't think Chris Toth is going to stay on the field for 30 seconds, but this one seems very cut and dry as a player.
So after a long spell, we had the timeout included in there. You got a chance for the fans to really get on the side of the Tacoma Stars and voice their opinions to our referee crew for the night. 7:37 to play here in the second quarter. Tacoma Stars lead 3-1. They have yet to score so far this quarter. The only goal has been Harold Hansen at the 11:13 mark. Roscoe with a heave-ho all the way downfield. Jones, his header. And Air Hansen with Souza. This team had their Wheaties pregame. Here's Na. Jones, top of your screen. Souza fouled by Stinson. And slowly starting to get some audio back here at the Showwear Center with our in-house speakers currently going under some technical difficulties.
We have the mini ball graphics going on the screen right now too, so hopefully we don't see any mini balls flying on the field here mid-second quarter.
Our Tacoma Stars faithful know that that is the greatest tradition to happen between third and fourth quarter only. De Leon plays back. Caceres, his header. It's Mendoza, takes it down with his chest. Stinson gets out of a double team, well done. Cutting inward. Acevedo plays out wide. He had a good run through the center. Thought Acevedo had a chance to get that ball back and have a strike. Stinson with a strike. Bouncing ball. Stinson now settles. He's going to have a left-footed ball to the back post. Just wide. Left-footed shot. It's a block by Hansen. Another 6-on-5 opportunity as Orozco is all the way up the field. De Leon. This is Aguirre. Now he has Orozco right now on top of the ball. This is a more central position for a goalkeeper who comes out to play like a 6 attacker.
Yeah, it looks a lot more normal than on the far boards on the yellow line. So maybe a little bit more conservative here from Empire.
Great ball up the middle, and it finds its way home into the back of the net. Randy Martinez thought that there was one in the middle. Harold Hansen set up a really good opportunity, and it was a missed strike, but Randy Martinez did well enough to clean it up, and now we got a 3-2 ball game.
Well executed there. Empire is able to find the space in the middle of the field, play a ball down low, and get numbers in the box, and a great strike into the top corner.
Correa shreds off the defender, and the whistle gets blown. It's going to come all the way back. Correa is such a stout player. I mean, for his height, for his stature, it's incredible to see how physical he can play and how hard it is to put a guy like him on the ground.
And I think it's so surprising if you're a defender and he takes that first step. You're not really anticipating how quick he is. He definitely has the ability to get around you before you would anticipate it.
So what was once a 3-0 game in favor of the Stars, and we were questioning everything that Empire was doing, has now turned into a 3-2 game, and Empire's starting to put together in the second quarter.
Yeah, and honestly, they haven't really lost the ball here in the second quarter. They've done a great job of possessing it, never turning it over, never putting it in a dangerous position. They're really riding the thin line that is starting the game with the 6th attacker.
Here's John. Might have a chance with Orozco being out of the net. Empire maintains or gets back under possession, excuse me. It's amazing how quickly that they can recapture possession of the ball in what most teams would find as an all-out scramble mode. They do it so well, almost organized chaos, and it allows them to get the ball back, give their goalkeeper time to get back into the net. Long ball down the field. Orozco's going to try and center that. Jones runs out to defend it. But it's organized chaos. It's controlled chaos. Here it is again. They lose possession. Orozco's going to go all the way back. John can't do anything through this double team, and he's got to just try and find a square ball out.
And it's also chaos for Tacoma. You're winning the ball in places that you don't usually win the ball. So you're defending zonally, you're kind of on your heels a little bit. And, you know, if you're man for man and you win the ball, you're usually in the space that you're used to, in the part of the field that you're used to. And when you're defending zonally and you're a man down, you may find it in a weird place, and you don't have that muscle memory to play the first pass out.
De Leon plays for Hansen. Stinson now in support. Right foot strike, it's a good save, pushed away. Long shot all the way from Tacoma to Kent. It's the fourth goal of the night. It's Canale opening up his account for the night. And that's the risk that you run when you put your keeper all the way downfield. You have a clinical player like Alessandro Canale who can strike that ball from distance accurately with pace. No one's catching up to that thing.
Yeah, and it's surprising because Empire's done so well, even with the goalkeeper in a more conservative position. You're within a goal. You may be able to kind of change your tactics. You've run Tacoma down a little bit, and then you get punished, and it's 4-2. So if you're Empire, got to be disappointed. You felt like you've had a lot more of this second quarter, and then you find yourself down 2 once again.
I think after that goal, you know, the Stars so oftentimes were looking forward the second that they won back possession, and that's what was allowing Empire to close down. But now that you've got that goal, you can maybe look to just try and find that extra pass when you do win possession and you don't have to just try and force the ball downfield.
And I think that that's what a guy like Nick Pereira or Corey Keats really gives you too, and you don't have that tonight. So you're relying on some different players to make those decisions. And when you have a Nick Pereira and a Corey Keats on the field, it's infectious. Those decisions become a little bit easier. So tonight, really relying on some different players to make those good decisions and to find those extra passes.
De Leon waits for his support. Orozco crosses over the midway stripe. This is Aguirre. De Leon goes for a change. Palmer comes on in the 6 attacker shirt. Ball into the corner. Palmer might have a chance. Pokes it back. Stinson one-on-one against Mendoza. Stars win possession. This is Caceres. Right foot strike, only as far as Caceres. He settles and pokes it over the top for Moises Gonzalez, who's going to try and chase this down. It's off of that same paneling of glass just inside the bench. It's going to result in a free kick by the boards for Empire. 37 seconds to play in the first half. Gerardo for Aguirre. Empire probably just playing for one here. Jones intercepts, couldn't get a clean touchdown on the first or the second, turns it over to Stinson. Stars need to recover. Hansen goes square. Palmer one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he's going to slot it away. Aguirre gets his third of the season. 10 seconds to play, but Empire scratches one back. Picture perfect for the Strikers.
Great transition, good recognition for Empire there to find the right pass going forward. Logan Jones had some stars in his eyes there when he won possession, thinking there might be another goal in it for Tacoma. But Empire able to win the ball back quickly, make a couple of the correct passes, find the back post, and a nice easy tap in to get within one.
Briscoe goes long for Canale, 5 seconds on the clock, and the Stars pull some magic. Rivers goes sky high with the volley. Souza's chasing it down, the horn sounds. And what a wacky first half that we've seen. I mean, MASL, it's the league that is so unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get out of it. And what a 30 minutes that was. The first 15 played so different than the second 15, and we got ourselves a one-goal game going into the intermission.
Yeah, and what an odd circumstance where you feel like if you're Tacoma, you haven't really even had the ball, and you find yourself with 4 goals. So very, very strange. Empire's got to feel pretty good about what they did in that second quarter as well. They were able to execute what they came out to do, and the 6 attacker had some dividends. So interesting to see what the strategy is like from both of these teams coming into the second half.
15 minutes in this halftime, and then we are back with second half action. Don't go anywhere. Some good content. You got MI5 plays of the week and our star of the night, Logan Jones, interview with him coming up right here on the Tacoma Stars halftime show.
The enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso Showwear Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Shoot! He
What's up, soccer fans? This is the MASL in 5. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Great to see you again. I've only got 5 minutes to get you caught up on all that's gone down in the league over the past week, so let's go.
See if we can get this isolation of Sanchez one-on-one. Take
Sanchez got her up.
Yes.
Let's go. Sanchez walking in. Sanchez.
Yes!
No! Oh! Alex Sanchez! His second of the night. We're tied at 6.
There were some serious fireworks when Tacoma faced Milwaukee last weekend. This game had everything. 11 seconds left here. Nick Pereira has a chance to win it. Augie Ray coming up with the massive stop. This one needed overtime.
Braham taken away by Max. 2-on-1 with Mario. Max trying to get through. Max coming in. And again to Mario. And again. Super Mario from Max, and the Wave wins it 7-6.
So Milwaukee takes it in OT, but then things got nasty. A full-on brawl broke out afterwards, which at one point spilled onto the Milwaukee bench. Just when it seemed things were calming down, it continued in the tunnel towards the dressing rooms. This just went on and on and on. The league, as you can imagine, was not amused. It did a full investigation into the matter. Head to the league's official X account to read all about it and what the end result was. Several suspensions were handed out between both teams. By the way, these two squads will face off again back in Tacoma on February 8th. For more analysis on the situation, tune in to Under Review with Phil Ivanko and Ryan Sigich. Some other big news for you. Frank Taillou is back. The superstar was reactivated by St. Louis this past week and will be back in the lineup. The Ambush originally had suspended Frank back on January 14th due to conduct detrimental to the team. Who was hot last week? A few guys. Tavoy Morgan was fantastic for San Diego. He had 6 points over 2 games, 4 goals and 2 assists. That included a hat trick against the Texas Outlaws. And of course, Marco Fabian seems to be make a weekly occurrence on this list. 5 points over 2 games, including that ridiculous assist right there against St. Louis. And Juan Pereira of the Baltimore Blast did all his damage in a single game against Texas. 5 points in the game, 4 goals, 1 assist in that big Blast win over the Outlaws. And just a reminder, the MASL All-Star Game is quickly approaching. February 12th in Utica, New York. All the league's best will be there on the blue turf. Can't wait. Players of the week now, Boris Pardo in goal from San Diego. Defensively, Robert Palmer from Empire. And on offense, Jorge Rios from Chihuahua. Let's start with Rios. Another great week. He had 6 points, 4 goals, 2 assists in 2 savage wins. The defender, Robert Palmer, picks up the award yet again. 2 goals in 2 games, and more importantly, as a defender, 3 blocks for the Strikers. And in goal, Boris Pardo just had a massive week, picking up some huge saves. He made 20 of them over 2 games while allowing just 7 goals. Time now for your plays of the week.
almost a full line of all-stars here, Tom. We got 3 of them on the field. Oh,
Sanchez shows you why right there. Top shelf. Wave is on the board. They trail it 2-1.
Well done by Mo. SK still short-handed. Gets by De Leon. Oh, he scores! Oh, Will SK! Again!
Cross to Pereira, Alvarez, and Humpman double team and slips it through. Shot the goal.
what a ball from Pereira.
Still tons of time for the Comets. No need to panic. Tetsane scores! Why panic when you've got an absolute rocket on your toe?
Mishit that one. Interesting to me, though, that the Strykers, Fabian Scissoring makes Briggs slip. He shoots, it's in! Oh, Marco Fabian with a Lamy lurking right on the goal line. Oh, baby, what a play.
Graham, go, finish. 2-on-1 with Mario. Max, trying to get through. Max coming in.
And again,
to Mario.
and again.
Go! Super Mario from Max, and the Wave wins it 7-6.
And of course, you can stay up to date on everything that's going on in the MASL all throughout the season with great feature stories, the latest news, statistics, by checking out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
I'm Peyton Barron's voice of the Tacoma Stars, and joining me tonight, the star of the night, is our very own Logan Jones. Logan, thanks so much for joining us tonight. And, it's been a crazy season right now. Not the start that we wanted to get off to, but a couple of important games this weekend against the Empire Strykers. What are you thinking about going into these two games, and how are we going to turn things for the Tacoma Stars against these Strykers?
Yeah, well, the big thing is turn, right? We have had a long stretch of games where we haven't got a win, and so we need one of those. That's the big thing. It's just win. It doesn't really matter how it happens. It just has to happen. I think this year so far we've actually done a good job of following the game plan and doing the things that we're supposed to do, but just haven't found a way to just piece it all together, whether it's an execution thing in the final third or we give up easy stuff or can't get out of our own end at times and restarts, things like that. So just trying to piece together a whole game. That's probably the focus for tonight, and then go from there.
You're in your 6th year with the Tacoma Stars and grew up locally. You're out of Auburn, Washington, Auburn High School, and played a little college ball locally. What's it mean for you to play for such a historic club like the Tacoma Stars?
Oh, man, it's huge. Going back before, I played at a youth club, and I had a couple coaches that played for the Stars, Ralph Black and Greg Howes being two of them that were kind of prominent names. So being able to continue with what they had, staying local, playing with guys I grew up with, being able to travel over the country, and just being just kind of a small town kid. Auburn's not very big, and be able to go to East Coast and down to Mexico, and we were just in Milwaukee last week. We'll go to Texas. We play in Cali. That stuff's so cool. It means a ton.
And in your 6th year, the differences from your rookie year, where it was just role playing essentially that first year for you, trying to get your feet wet in it, and now you are a full embedded member of this team. Nearly, you just missed out on the All-Star game. I think a snub in my opinion, if I have to say so. But you lead the league in blocks. You are a key member of this team. What's the biggest differences between year 1 Logan Jones and now year 6 Logan Jones in MASL?
Well, I'm a lot more tired, I'll say that. But just the growth comes in the knowledge of the game, really. Like you said, you get in and kind of a gadget guy, and you try to learn the game. And my first year, I played a lot of forward. I just come on and play defense and just do the hard work that the guys that score goals don't want to, which was awesome because it allowed me to learn the speed of the game and pick up on little things. I was defending defenders, and that's the position I play now, so I picked up a ton on what works and what doesn't and things to look for. And so now after, we train so hard and you learn so much of the games and experiences, so having your flow, finding your own niche within the game, things like that, it comes with time, and time makes you better, especially in this game.
You play with a lot of veterans, Nick Pereira, Alex Caceres, guys like that. Who have you maybe learned from the most within maybe your position or the game of MASL, and what have they taught you more than anything when it comes to MASL?
Oh, man. It's a kind of a loaded question, right? Nick's the head coach, right? And he has a wealth of knowledge, so it's easy to say him. I'd say if I get away from that, coming in and when I was learning to play defender, Danny Waltman was my goalie, and he was always chirping in my ear. And then not so much that I've gotten direct, but just watching other players play. I mean, you watch a guy like Alex Caceres and the things he does, different body type, different athleticism, different style of play, but what does he do that makes him successful? I have to watch those things. You look at the guys that win Defender of the Year, Robert Palmer, Chad Vandegrift, Alves in Florida that one year. What do? What kind of things make them successful? Watch film. You get things here, get things there, and you kind of piece it together, see if it works in your game, see if it doesn't. And then, yeah, just keep moving along. If it works, stick to it. If not, go for it. Evan's been a huge help since he's been in. Just little things. I did this when I was a player. Try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, it does. So I've had a ton of influence, man. I've been around a lot of good players, experienced players, smart players. And so it's been a journey for sure.
Well, before you know it, you know that you're turning into one of those veterans and you're going to have little mentors right underneath you. So be prepared for that as it comes.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm a thing in the locker room that's gets said all the time is you're not really there till you played 100 games. I'm sitting right around 90 right now, so hopefully, you know, I'll be there by the end of the season, and then I get to tell all the guys that haven't played as many games as me, you know, Adrian, Tyler, Kyle Rivers, you know, the boys. They're like my young guns now, even though they're all older than me. And I'm the vet, so it'll be good. It'll be good.
Logan Jones and the Tacoma Stars have some massive games coming up on the schedule that you're not going to want to miss. Visit TacomaStars.com for all of your ticketing needs. Logan, good luck tonight. Good luck this weekend. Good luck for the rest of the season. He's the Tacoma Stars Star of the Night. I'm Peyton Behrens. We'll catch you at the second half coming up next.
Almost a full line of all-stars here, Tom. We got three of them on the field. Oh.
Sanchez shows you why right there. Top shelf. Ravens on the board. They trail it 2-1. What a goal by Sanchez.
A couple of good matches against San Diego last year, including in the playoffs. His long shot, and speak of the devil, and so ye shall see him as Macias shoots from outside through traffic past Pardo.
Kits. Well done by Mo. SK still short-handed. Gets by De Leon. Oh, he scores! Oh, Will SK! Again! What a play!
Willie Spur. Pass to Pereira, Alvarez, and Humpman double team and slips it through. Shot the goal. What a ball from Pereira.
Spur having a great game tonight. I mean, is that his third goal, Tom?
That is his second goal of the night. He's also got an assist. Set up beautifully by Pereira.
Kansas City. Still tons of time for the Comets. No need to panic. Tetsane scores! Why panic when you've got an absolute rocket on your toe? And make that number 9 Junior Kazim change your name to Senior for the pace of that ball.
La marca, ahí viene el huevo, el disparo de Medrano, el recentro Medrano.
Goal! Teams will switch. William SK mishit that one. Interesting to me though that the Strykers, Fabian Cizerin makes Briggs slip, he shoots, it's in! Oh, Marco Fabian with a Lamy lurking right on the goal line. Oh, baby, what a play.
And it's opportunities that you're given. And again, if you're looking at this and looking at the rest of the season as well, these are the moments that you have to take care of for sure.
Charlie will take care of it all by himself with a lovely free kick goal. And there's no wall there, open space, and Charlie looking like he's chipping at the old driving range. Says, okay, I'll put it right on in the net.
Brand, go Fernandez. 2-on-1 with Mario. Max trying to get through. Max coming in. And again, to Mario. And again. Go! Super Mario from Max, and the Wave wins it 7-6.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso Showwear Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Use the hashtag Tacoma Stars to be entered to win. Well, fans, during the Tacoma Stars home games, when the Stars are on the power play or shorthanded, you have a chance to win big. If the Stars score a power play goal this evening, all fans will receive a crunchy taco from El Toro Restaurant. And when the Stars kill a penalty, you're the winner of a small pizza from Spud's Pizza. Simply show your paper or digital ticket to claim your prize.
Playing a lot of close games. We have a couple of overtime games, a lot of one-goal games, and aside from the Chihuahua blowout, everything's been really close through the fourth quarter. So he thinks that the team is playing good soccer, and they are just so close to getting over that mountaintop and onto the next level.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it so frustrating for Tacoma. You look at the soccer that's been played, and it doesn't warrant the record that they have. But ultimately, that's what you've been dealt, and that's what you have to deal with. And so if you're Tacoma, you're just hoping that the table stays really close and that you can find your way into the top 8 by the end of the season.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite MASL teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. 60 seconds into this third quarter here. It's the Accesso Showwear. Hansen lays it back. Gonzalez looks up. He sees an empty net, but Hansen immediately chases all the way back. Gonzalez loses possession. And I mean, the story of today's game is the unique play style that has come from Empire and the highs and lows of it. Because the first quarter was 3-0 in favor of Tacoma. The second quarter was 3-1 in favor of Empire. Here's Hansen. He took a look downfield. But every offensive possession has the Empire Strykers bringing their goalkeeper across midfield or bringing on a sixth attacker in lieu of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and if you're Tacoma, you're just trying to get enough space to have a look or make a pass. And Empire's made it really, really difficult in transition when the ball is lost by Empire or there's a 50-50 ball. They've rallied around the ball, defended it well, and never really given Tacoma a good look outside of the 4 goals. So Tacoma's been able to capitalize a couple times, but outside of those, Empire's done a very, very good job of closing the space and making life difficult.
Correa loses possession in the middle of the field. Whistle blown as he was held. And the Stars are going to be on top of the free kick. the yellow line right now, pushing high at the top left side of your screen.
He has the ability to use his hands in the penalty area.
At this point, he shouldn't even be wearing a goalkeeper jersey, and it should just be the 6th attacker shirt.
I was thinking his sub over there. Everyone has their sub they're changing with, and how strange is it to have a sub on the bench wearing goalkeeper gloves ready to go?
This is where the reversible jersey market comes into play, where every player has a 6th attacker shirt on the reverse side of the jersey, and on the bench, they just need to flip it inside out, and then they're ready to go and sub in.
I do appreciate the Route 66 6th attacker jersey. I think that's pretty clever.
I think more teams should go with, clever puns or innuendos on their 6th attacker shirts. Here's Jones in transition. He's got Souza to his right. He's got Na to his left. Na with the right-footed strike. And it's an easy save for DeLima.
If you're the Stars, do you go Interstate 5 or Highway 167? That's the real question.
Oh, that's a good one. It's got to be the Interstate 5 with, just the history of the Tacoma Dome and the Tacoma Stars. Yes, I know that this team now plays in Kent, right off 167 at the Showwear Center. But I think you got to pay homage to the original, to the Tacoma Dome.
Okay. Number 5 fits on the jersey a little better, but that is Kyle Rivers' number. So 167, you have that available.
Has MASL ever seen triple digits? I know Liga MX does triple-digit numbers. I would love to see indoor soccer be able to sport triple-digit numbers. That would be great.
Bofo, Adolfo Bautista, Chicago Mustangs. I believe he was number 100. You can fact-check me on that one.
Human history book, Derek Johnson strikes again.
I'm an indoor soccer encyclopedia.
I love it. I'm so blessed to be in this booth with you every single game. It's great. You learn so much. Could you ever sport a triple-digit number? And if so, what number would that be?
I don't think I could. I don't know that I could pull that one off.
Because, traditionally, you're number 9, so you wouldn't go 999 on a shirt. Here's a right-footed strike up and up to the top windows of the plexiglass.
I don't know. I would have to be scoring 9 times the goals in order to do that.
Is that why you wore 9? Because you were aiming to just score 9 goals a season? Didn't want 10?
No, I just didn't want Eddie Naw to take my number. So
foul in the middle of the field. Souza trying to lend a helping hand.
Fun fact, I was the number 9 at Pacific Lutheran. Eddie Naw came into PLU the year after I graduated. I was the number 9. He became the number 9 at PLU. I was on the Stars as the number 9. I left the Stars. Eddie Naw came in. Where's the number 9?
So you're telling me in some years Eddie Naw is going to be beside me in this broadcast booth?
I think that's
what's following the same career arc.
I think it's bound to happen.
Briscoe with a sliding effort. That ball is just going to miss out. Header, no. Gonzalez goes flying in. If Kai Briscoe would have connected on that, we would have officially seen everything indoor soccer has to offer. Gonzalez lays off for John. Tyler John is fouled just outside of the arc. What an effort from Briscoe. And I don't know if that was intentional. I think he just tried getting his body in front of it, but that was dangerous.
And from Tyler John a minute earlier than that, getting all the way up the field and against the boards next to the goal. He almost found another scrappy goal with the ball rolling around. Gonzalez almost got there as well. Couldn't quite find it.
Mendoza on the walk-up. This is Caceres. Now it's Ramos. Thought about the left footer. Caceres. He plays back for Ramos. So the free kick situation looks a little different when you don't have Nick Pereira in the mix. Pereira not playing tonight. Goes down low for Gonzalez. Gonzalez rolls this ball up and over the goal using every bit of window that he can find.
And he was Pereira on the bench motioning his team to pull them out. He wants to draw Empire out a little bit and make them come out of the shell and defend.
This is the most traditional sense that we've seen Empire play all night. It's been so much of them on top of the ball, keeping possession, having 6 attackers going forward.
And good for Tacoma to have an actual spell of possession here. This has been something they've really been lacking. So eager to go find a goal with the empty net. and now it looks a little bit more like a soccer game from Tacoma.
Caceres drives central. He hits it with the left foot. No. Header goes back. That's Eddie Knopf flying in. And, man, when he's on a full sprint, he is a man out of a cannon.
He certainly is, yeah. And you pair that with a Kyle Rivers and a Tyler John, and you have a few of those guys tonight that can make that happen.
DeLima gets himself forward again. I would like to note that DeLima played the first quarter and now the third quarter. He played both quarters in which they were defending the south goal. And Orozco played the one quarter so far that they've defended the north goal. So maybe there's just a little bias with our keepers. Because Canale with a chance and he misses just wide. Empty netter as DeLima was coming all the way back. Ball still bouncing around. Dangerous spot. Mendoza off the glass. So maybe these goalkeepers for Empire are pretty directional. One likes the north, one likes the south. They're going to keep it that way. We'll see if we get a goalkeeper change for the fourth quarter as well.
I'm going to guess we will have a goalkeeper change for the fourth quarter. And maybe a sixth attacker change and a second sixth attacker.
It's a never-ending combination. You never know what's going to happen next with these guys. Keeps you on your toes, and I appreciate that. 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. So this is Spur. He goes square for Jones. Jones, I don't know if he has Mock's feet. I think Mock has to retreat. Already used his possession. Jones confirmed that verbally with him. Tyler John thought he was fouled by Palmer up against those near side boards. He was not. Palmer wants him to play on. Spur is beat. Good run by Hernandez going forward. This is Stinson in the midfield. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, highlights, leaderboards, and more. The Stars clean it up after a dangerous chance for the Empire Strykers. Here's a long ball from Mock, placed to some space with Na running into it. Na gets pushed, catches himself against the boards, but maintains his feet. In a 1-on-3 situation, he's just going to play back. We have not found ourselves with a dead ball to go to the under-8 media timeout. We are at the 4:40 mark left in this quarter, so we are going to get a very late media timeout in this game. Caceres being pressured by Stinson. And Caceres is fouled. He plays quickly for Souza. Briscoe back on. Briscoe cuts through the middle, chest to chest. That was tough, dangerous situation. Briscoe wore the brunt end of it. He gets the call. And when Briscoe plays at 100 miles an hour like that, you're bound to take a challenge like one that he just suffered.
He certainly does play at 100 miles an hour. You watch him take off with that ball, and he was either going to get by the Empire defender. Oh, what a collision. Or he was going to collide at that speed, but he does not slow down. We can appreciate that about Kai Briscoe.
Only his third MASL game. Hansen with a shot, a bouncing ball. Handled easily for DeLima, but Kai Briscoe drafted this year for the Stars, and we have a stoppage in play due to an injury in the box. I wonder if that's Robert Palmer. We're going to step aside, take a break. This is going to be the media timeout. 3:48 to play here in the third quarter. The Tacoma Stars lead 4-3. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the MASL on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso Showwear Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington, as it's Israel Cisse who's getting some help over to the bench. He was the one injured just outside of the area that led into this timeout. You can see the Tacoma Stars bench here. It's Nick Pereira leading the charge and really talking these guys through. Derek, what's Nick Pereira saying right now to his team based on every sort of tactic that Empire is throwing at him? What's Nick's response right now?
I think he wants to see more sustained possession like we saw towards the end of the third here. When Tacoma's been able to keep the ball and make Empire move a little bit, they can create some chances. It's been a little too helter-skelter from Tacoma. It's been win the ball, look and see if we can find a goal. And as tempting as that is, sometimes it's not the best decision. And so my guess would be that the conversation is around patience, it's around defending honestly, and making the extra pass to open up some more space.
The MASL All-Star Game is headed to Utica, New York on February 12th, 2025. Follow the MASL on social media for updates on tickets, rosters, and more. Nick Pereira named one of the captains for one of the All-Star teams, so look out for some Tacoma Stars representation down there as Nick Pereira will be leading yet another team, and this time it will be the MASL All-Stars. .348 till we hit the quarter break now. Stinson on the run, one-on-one with Souza. While Stinson was here last season, never overlapped with Souza. Souza did not appear for the Tacoma Stars last season. Perez into the middle, crosses. Stinson chests it down, flicks it up. Justin Stinson just misses out. Whistle as that ball hits off of this topside referee. It's going to result Tacoma Star drop ball. Mock goes long for Rivers. Palmer plays to his right. Stinson goes up boards. Hansen, he's got a goal tonight. Here comes the patient play for Empire. They did this towards the end of the second quarter, and they were able to find their goal with just 10 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll see if they go on a long spell of possession again and try and find that same sort of magic, that late quarter goal to level things. Here's DeLima. Diagonal ball, Mock's gonna get it. Now we talked about rule changes. A new rule to this season is that goalkeepers can no longer throw the ball into the goal from their own box. So even if Mock was able to launch that ball all the way downfield, he'd not be able to score without another Tacoma Star touching it. It was a rule that just changed this offseason. Chris Toth was extremely good at those long throws all the way down to the other end of the field with an empty netter.
Not an easy thing to pull off there. That's a difficult toss to make.
Ramos pushes forward. In other fields like what you have down in Chihuahua, though, it's a little easier
story.
when you have a truncated indoor field.
Absolutely, yeah. And if a team pulls a 6 attacker, goalkeeper makes the save, all of a sudden it's a goal the other way. Not really something they want to see in the MASL.
Tacoma, one of the largest field sizes in all of MASL. How much of a difference do you notice that as a player when it comes to field sizes and, truncated fields like Chihuahua against fields like the Showwear Center here?
Yeah, Shower Center here, Dallas, San Diego, places that have the hockey-sized field. It's one style of game, and when you go to a place like Chihuahua, Monterey, those fields significantly smaller. It completely changes the way you play the game. It changes the personnel that you need on the team. There's a lot of things that are really altered, and that's why the home field advantage has been so crucial. You go back to last season, and Tacoma wins the first leg against Chihuahua here, but then has to go down to Chihuahua, play a totally different style game, and you end up losing two and you're eliminated. So Tacoma would love to have that advantage this season. Obviously, the playoffs being in San Diego is probably a good thing for Tacoma.
Good turn, taking his space, going forward, left foot strike, Mock gets to it. Second time though, bounces its way in, and that's Emmanuel Aguirre has another. 4-4, under 30 seconds to play here. The late quarter heroics of Empire strike again.
Strong left-footed shot, good block, and then the volley into the far post. Well done to get on the end of it. Good save initially, and just unfortunate rebound and great finish from Empire.
So Aguirre's got the last two goals. He scored with 10 seconds left in the first half. Now he scores with 26 seconds left here in this third quarter. It's Souza. Brings the ball down. Maybe a lucky bounce to himself. Hits it off the boards. And now it's cleared away. 10 seconds. Do the Stars have one more chance in them? Mock, bouncing ball. Lobs it forward. Souza doesn't win the header, but Canale chases it down. 5 seconds. I don't think the Stars are going to be able to find a strike. Horn sounds, 4-4 going into the final 15 minutes. Derek, this has been one of the most wild MASL games. And usually when we think wild MASL, you think a crazy, high-scoring, 18-15 kind of game. But we are sitting 4-4, and this is one of the most crazy games of indoor soccer we've seen.
And it feels like it could be an 18-15 game. That's what's so strange about it. The game is so opened up. It's so really helter-skelter in the middle of the field sometimes. Yet it's still only 4-4. So kind of surprising, but we've seen a very exciting open game today.
Well, we're going to step aside, take a break. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter action is coming just around the corner. You're watching MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso Showwear Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomasstars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Welcome back into the Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's Derek Johnson as the mini ball toss wraps up. Cleanup crews are hard at work gathering those mini balls. It's 4-4. It's quite the wild ride to get there. Ramos opened up scoring with a header goal. Gonzalez followed up on an empty netter free kick while the goalkeepers were on a change. He had a shorthanded goal from Tyler John with Logan Jones pressing high. And Harold Hansen finally gets one back for Empire. Martinez adds one on. Canale from way downtown on an empty netter. So the Stars have really been able to capitalize on those goalkeeping changes and those empty net situations. But Aguirre has answered back in the second quarter and in the third quarter to get this thing tied up at 4-4. And so right now we are in a little bit of a dogfight going on, Derek.
Yeah, and I think you give the upper hand to Empire. The fact that they've been able to execute this strategy, not an easy one to actually implement and execute, but they've been able to stick with it, keep the ball, be patient, defend well, press well. And when you're going six attacker, inevitably you're going to give up goals. It just depends on how many, because if you're able to execute what they've been able to pull off, you can find goals. And so here we are at 4-4, and I think Empire will feel really good about what they've been able to do today.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. So you were right, Derek. You said that we were going to have a goalkeeping change for the fourth quarter, and that we do. Brian Orozco is in the goal. We'll see how much time he actually spends in the goal. And we'll wonder if in the fourth quarter, where crunch time starts to come around, if we're going to start to see the goalkeeper sit back a little bit further, knowing that the game is actually starting to get closer and closer to being on the line. Maybe they feel like there's less risk because it's the first and second quarter. They still have 30 minutes to play for it. But as we get closer to the final horn here, you wonder if Orozco is going to sit further back, try and play a little safer, or if they're going to keep that same strategy and just try and play aggressive and go forward with it.
Well, and really curious, if Empire finds themselves a goal and they're up 5-4, do you stay sixth attacker and do you stick to the game plan that you came in with? Or do you pivot and drop your goalkeeper in and really try to defend and see the game out? So it'll be interesting. I give Empire a ton of credit for what they've been able to come in and do. Not something that I would have picked for my team or have put a lot of stock in, but they've been able to believe in it, execute it, and now 15 minutes to go. Let's see if they're able to pull it off.
Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV on YouTube and CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bashavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Stars and Strikers back on the field, ready to go. It's an interesting match, too. Aside from everything that's gone on the field, no superstar talent on either side, really, with the main guys missing out. Nick Pereira is on the bench as a coach. If you remember back to last year, the Tacoma Stars were missing him due to injury, and Nick Pereira went into the coach's box, won 10 straight games as a coach when he was leading the side just from the bench area. So Stars looking to try and add on to that and really help out Nick Pereira's coaching record. But on the other side of things, no Marco Fabian for this Empire side, who is so crucial in the success for Empire. And yes, 5-6 so far on the season, but this is a team that they are really night and day different with and without Marco Fabian.
Yeah, and you wonder if with Marco Fabian, if they're able to find more than 4 goals here. I mean, they've done an exceptional job of keeping the ball and creating chances. And you put a player like that in the mix with a team that's been able to possess, and he's the one that makes you pay. So it will be a battle of the two stars tomorrow as they head back down to California. So Nick Pereira versus Marco Fabian. If you're missing that tonight, tune in tomorrow night because it should be a great matchup.
Stinson playing all the way back, under possession calmly. Martinez, goal scorer, plays back for Palmer, and Stinson now again. Orozco's all the way downfield on the bottom of your screen, just off screen. But he is just past the attacking yellow line. For the goalkeepers being so far downfield, very rarely have they produced a shot or maybe even set up an assist. This is Ramos. Ramos has support in the middle. He's not going to use it. He calls his own number. 25 is right, and he scores. Unfortunately, there's a star on the ground behind him. It's Tyler John. The Stars lead 5-4. Tyler John needs medical assistance. Trainers run onto the field. He's the one who ran in, got in on that challenge, and led to Ramos being able to get that shot off.
And Peyton, it looks like we have a delayed blue for the foul on Tyler John. So I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, MASL officials, but I don't believe the blue is given if Ramos finishes that without the touch of an Empire player. So I think you'll see Tacoma up a man here, but I'm not entirely certain.
Either way, that goal will stand. Tyler John's still getting assistance on the field right now. Mike Ramos adds his second of the game. Tyler John walking off the field under his own power, grabbing onto his neck. And he's such a fun player for the Tacoma Stars. I mean, talk about a guy who is, he's one of those guys who has kind of all the tangibles and has the package. He has the speed, he has the physicality, he has the power, you know, he's physical, he's aggressive, he's all these things all mixed into one player. And once he starts to get into that sort of veteran status, rather than being the new player, and we're gonna take another look at it because that blue card was issued. And I don't know, are we looking at that challenge being, oh, it's after the play, and that's why Tyler John is up and grabbing his head. So the goal counts and the blue card is issued.
It looks like they're saying goal but no blue card.
The blue card's issued. He scores the goal within the play, which negates then the man down situation. Okay. It's a blue card advantage. And so we should be at even strength when we return to this. And the blue card is still issued and goes towards foul count or blue card count.
There we have it.
So back underway, the Stars lead by a goal. A lot of time left, though, in this fourth quarter for Empire to start to work their way into it. Stinson, he's left in the dust. Ramos wants this ball forward. Stinson's down. Referee's checking on him. Stars are on a breakaway on the other end of the field. It's a great sliding challenge by Aguirre to slow things down. Stinson is back up off camera. Glad to see that. Rivers in on a challenge. Things are starting to get a little physical between these two teams. And don't forget, they have 60 minutes of soccer to play in less than 24 hours in sunny California. Sliding challenge, this ball bounces away. Ramos tries to go for the hat trick from his defensive yellow line. Jones is pressuring, full sprint. Ball cleared up and into the bench area. 12:34 to play here in regulation. Disagree with the call tonight? You might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review, with Phil Levanco and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. Mendoza plays square. It's a dangerous ball, but Caceres is able to poke it away and go with some speed forward. Slows it down. He's into a double team. Plays himself up the wall. Acevedo's poor touch allowed Mendoza to get back possession for the Stars. Correa, Mendoza, Caceres, Gonzalez, and Na are the five on the field for Tacoma. No Chris Toth tonight for the Tacoma Stars. Donald Mocht is in the net.
And if you're wondering about the Tacoma goalkeeper, he is a product of Crossfire Academy in Redmond. Spent the last several years in Portugal playing professionally. So outdoor soccer goalkeeper, converted to indoor, but spent a bunch of time overseas, and Tacoma happy to have him back here stateside.
And Crossfire Premier is just one of the most top-notch youth soccer programs that the country has to offer. Logan Jones, first-time volley from distance, and it's headed away. I think Logan had a hope and a prayer that that might make it in.
It would have been incredible. Great look from Logan. You love the ambition from Logan, looking to find a goal here.
He'll tell you post-game that that was a missed touch and he meant to settle it to his own feet.
Well, I'll tell him it looked like a good shot.
Briscoe gets around Hansen, plays off. It's a spur. Left foot shot off the short side board, and Canale got feet tangled under him. He tried to finish it. Briscoe chests that ball up and into the bench. Now, that play just before that, and I know that we've talked a lot about High Briscoe tonight, but he had a nice little give and go around the defender, and he's looking like he's fitting that role of indoor player, like making that transition from outdoor to indoor, maybe quicker than the average player does.
Yeah, he definitely has a really high basement coming from UW. He's had a lot of high level, great experience in his college days. So the transition for him from a level standpoint won't be as difficult. The patterns of play and the things that you have to think about as an indoor soccer player are going to be the biggest transition for a guy like Briscoe.
Perez tries to cut inward. That's poked away by Spur. Turf Monster may have struck Chase Hansen there, because I don't know if there was a lot of contact from anybody in a white shirt, but Chase Hansen gets the foul called. Israel Cisse went off the field earlier in the game with some help from a trainer. You can see him at the end of the bench momentarily as this ball pans by. He's sitting on top of it with a shoe off. He seemingly looks like he is done for the night.
Yeah, and that's a big loss. That's a veteran leader for this Empire side, a guy that's played hundreds upon hundreds of indoor games. You'd love to have him going down the stretch, so disappointing to see that for Cisse.
Game of possession is back for the Strykers. It's worked out well for them. Here's Orozco. Back for Palmer. This is Gerardo. Mock saves it off the near post. He was cheating. He was looking to try and protect his back post. That ball maybe caught him a little bit by surprise on the near post, but he did just enough to get to it. So far, early assessment on the rookie goalkeeper. Great at getting his hands to the ball. The catches aren't there just yet, but he's doing just enough to push that ball away from danger. He's making maybe the push or the punch really well. The hand catch, though, that's going to come with time in this league.
Yeah, and I think safety first. So your first game, you want to make sure that you're getting your hands on the ball. Don't be too ambitious. Don't try to make the catch that you don't need to make. Just make the save. And I think that's probably what the Tacoma staff has talked to him about, and executing it well tonight.
Ball played all the way to the backside. Hansen clears it, but Stars still under some pressure. This is Martinez and plays back for Palmer.
Great save at the near post there.
Stars cannot get out of trouble here just yet. Na thought he was fouled, slowed down. Stars need to get some possession, grab a quick line change. Na looks gas. Defending Stinson. Souza pressures Palmer. Hansen called for a foul. Stars might get caught out on a change. Palmer plays quickly. Rivers slides on. Wins this as Stinson did not see him tracking back. Canale in a one-on-one. Plays Rivers up the wall. Canale back central. Ball off the short side boards. Canale can't get to it. Correa plays inward, whistle blown, foul against Tacoma.
Man, Canale's got to be wondering, what do I got to do? There's 2 balls off the boards in the last probably 2 minutes that he feels like he could have maybe had if it came the right way, but just a foot or two behind him on both of those. would love to have one just sit in front of the goal for him to finish here in the last 7 minutes.
He's such a unique player, Canale, and his touch is incredible. He has a great shot, and his positioning and mind for the game is really strong. I love watching Alessandro Canale go to work each and every day.
And nose for the goal. You watch those runs that he makes into the box with the ball coming off the boards. He's always within a foot of the ball. So he's either scoring a goal or creating a chance just by his movement in the box.
And then the content creation on top of that. I mean, have you seen the video of him juggling the soccer ball on the longboard down on the beaches of California?
He is Venice Beach's finest.
Good chance, good area to be in, and a great track back. Believe that's Nani Mendoza who came all the way back to poke that away. It was a one-on-one opportunity for Gonzalez. We have a new player wearing now what is Robert Palmert's 6 attacker jersey. Get an identification in just a moment. This is a good diagonal ball. De Leon runs onto it. Mendoza with the thigh back. And a timeout called. Under 6 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Tacoma Stars are leading things 5-4. We're going to step aside and take a break. Don't go anywhere. The rest of regulation coming up next on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso Showwear Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomasstars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
It's never too early to start talking playoffs. Join 8 of our teams in sunny San Diego as they square off in the MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs, April 5th through 7th. Ticket deposits are now being accepted. Visit frontwavearena.com for more information. Peyton Behrens and Derek Johnson here. The Tacoma Stars are leading the Empire Strykers 5-4 in a game where Empire has outshot the Tacoma Stars by our unofficial stat count 23-10. Our in-house. Those stats will get cleaned up after the game, and then they become official once our statistician goes through a game and is able to check those out. But, that's a pretty big outweigh. 23-10. Yes, Empire's been playing with a 6 attacker seemingly the entire game. So Tacoma being able to convert 5 of their 10 shots on goal right now, it's tough waters to be in, but you're able to convert. You have the lead, and you got to assume that this next 6 minutes, your goal is going to get peppered with shots left and right.
Yeah, and I think the goal for Tacoma is to make it a 2-goal lead. If you can make it a 2-goal lead, you feel a little bit more comfortable sitting back and defending and trying to bunker down the last couple minutes here. But it's really important that if you have an opportunity for Tacoma, you put it away, make it 6-4, and make this game a little bit further out of reach for Empire.
As much chaos has gone on today, there hasn't been a whole lot of chippiness that's gone on between the two teams. Usually you see chaotic MASL matches. You think high scoring. You think chippiness between the two sides. You think about, maybe poor referee judgment. We haven't seen a whole lot of that today. It's just been crazy tactics. Everything in the kitchen sink has been thrown at this game. We've had good officiating. We've had good movement of plays. And we've had new things that we've never seen before. And you just love to see things like that rolled out in MASL. Correa, Rivers, John, Jones, and Caceres are the 5 on the field for the Stars. Quite the speedy bunch that they've thrown out there with possession in their hands.
We've seen decoys for Logan Jones streaking on a play like this too, so don't put it past him.
Here's a long ball intended for, I believe, Rivers, but John is going to fall under it. John back into the middle. Tyler John gets denied with a great opportunity, a great track back run from Acevedo, and the Stars are under possession now.
Yeah, what a block. Tyler John, I think, thought he had scored a goal, and out of nowhere, Acevedo comes with a fantastic block to save a goal.
Don't forget, John scored shorthanded earlier in the game. What was a 5-on-4 power play opportunity, and then a 6 attacker was added onto the field. So in what seemingly was a 6-on-4, Tyler John was able to score shorthanded in the first quarter of the game today. Possession won cleanly by Walter Diaz. And a little bit of music starts to come into the ShoWare Center. Some technical difficulties tonight. And Randy McNair's voice gets this crowd alive. Electricity is back in the ShoWare Center with that. It's been a fun night.
It's good to hear Randy's voice. Good timing, too. Tacoma could use this for the last 4.5 minutes.
A little bit of juice thrown in. You know, the Tacoma Stars, part of the goal celebrations is they play a certain sound, and it makes a woo type noise. And earlier after the Canale goal, a lot of woos were being thrown out by the crowd in lieu of the PA system, and I love to see it. Now Randy's got to get 60 minutes worth of energy all out during this 5-minute stretch of the fourth quarter.
Well, you're hearing what home field advantage is made of right now.
John is pressuring. Aguirre goes to ground. He looks for a call, and he gets nothing. Empire was caught out on a change. Hansen comes onto the field way late. They were in a 5-on-4 situation, and nobody noticed. Stars are maybe settling into their best string of possession the entire game, and maybe the most crucial time. Briscoe goes to ground. They call a foul, and I don't know if it's on Rivers with a push up high or if it's because Briscoe goes sliding in, but immediately Orozco goes sprinting off the field, and the 6th attacker is back on, and it's De Leon. .335 left in this fourth quarter, a very natural time to have a 6th attacker on the field, but this is about the 12th time that we've seen it tonight, Derek.
Yeah, finally appropriate for the context of the game, so this should be an interesting last 3 minutes.
Stinson dropped a shoulder into Souza, and a foul's called on Stinson, and Tacoma will have the ball going the other way. Orozco gets back onto the field. Perez settles off the free kick. John shows a little bit of pressure. Gerardo tries going diagonal for Stinson. Caceres gets enough on it to at least slow him down. Played square. This is Martinez. Palmer, and De Leon slides on. Martinez dribbles into space. This ball laid off. John goes sliding through, and maybe no referee goes to the pocket. John went in aggressively.
Wow, very fortunate from Tyler John there.
I thought just maybe he might be seeing blue at the worst time possible. De Leon, right foot strike, and it's up and over the top of the windows. Caceres goes long, looking for Rivers. Needs a good first touch. Gets it. Hansen plays back Caceres. Caceres with a little crafty ball off the windows. Here's a volley. Ramos, he's one-on-one with Orozco. Ramos settles. Tries to go 5-hole and misses out on the opportunity. Good save in a one-on-one from Brian Orozco.
And Chase Hansen wanted that ball back. You saw his reaction after that. He had mobbed all the way up the field to the back post. Ramos thought he had the meg. Kudos to Ramos for giving it a go, but great save.
Orozco went to go get upfield, ran to the near side at the bottom of your screen, and then went for a sub. Great strike. We're under 90 seconds to play. Palmer chases this ball all the way down. Had it under control the entire time. Kyle Rivers with a big breath awaiting this Strykers attack. Stars need a win desperately. They've played some close games all season. To let another one go, that would be a great strike, a great opportunity. Mach gets his hands to it. And the equalizer, 52 seconds, and Hansen finds himself another one. The Stars cannot wake up from the nightmare that is the early part of this campaign.
When it rains, it pours, Peyton. Just when the Tacoma Stars thought they were going to walk out of this and head to California with 3 points, with 52 seconds left, it's a tie ball game.
The previous goal is under review.
A video review. Palmer wants to walk over to the referees to see why it's being reviewed. He's being pushed away. Here, let's take another look at the build-up. Perhaps a shove in the corner. We're gonna come all the way back around to see. Are we checking if there's a boarding on Kyle Rivers in the corner?
I think that's the argument from Caceres here. I think that is what they're looking at.
This is a massive decision to be made. Goal's gonna stand, no foul called. So we have a 5-5 game, 52 seconds. Derek, these late quarter situations have benefited Empire so much. The Stars have crumbled. In the second quarter, they gave up a goal with 10 seconds left. Aguirre scored. In the third quarter, they got scored on again by Aguirre with 26 seconds left. And now in the fourth quarter, they give up a goal with 52 seconds left to Hansen.
Sometimes patterns can cripple a team during a season, and you start to have things not go your way or the way that you want them to go, and you start to see it reoccurring, and there has to be something to break the pattern, and maybe this is it right here.
Souza gets crushed. So a free kick in a dangerous place. Oh, if Pereira was on the field, this would be the time to call his own number. I got to imagine the Stars are going to call a timeout. Pereira's already got the clipboard in hand on the bench. Caceres and Gonzalez are over the top. You want to see how Empire lines up before you call this timeout so you can truly dial up what you want. Ramos on the back post. Caceres runs up. He calls his timeout. Based on that situation, you had a two-man wall, 3 men spread out in the box. What's Nick Pereira going to look at trying to exploit here with this free kick situation? You know you have a left footer in Caceres, you have a powerful shot in Moises Gonzalez, and then you're going to have some crafty players on the backside. Derek Johnson, what are you drawing up?
I think you got to go to the hot hand Michael Ramos. He's on a hat trick if he can find a third here. He's a guy that's scored in clutch moments. He's not afraid to take this shot. I think you draw something up to try to find Mike Ramos. Obviously, Caceres is setting up there to see what they're going to give you. Ultimately, this is probably a pass with a dummy and a shot from Ramos, or a second pass to Ramos. I'd love to see him get on the end of this and put this ball game away.
The 5 on the field there that the Tacoma Stars have, is that the right 5? Do you want Nani Mendoza in this situation on the free kick?
He's had quite a bit of success over the last 2 years around the box, so he is probably a guy I want to have there. I think the benefit to Mendoza is when, I mean, a lot of times with Pereira in those situations, the ball gets played into him. It's a quick soul roll to freeze the defenders and then the strike. And I think Mendoza has a little bit of that to him. So if you needed to lean on that, to go to Mendoza, even if it was as a decoy, he's very good at commanding his presence around the box and finding a clean look.
You know, there's not a lot of big bodies out there for the Tacoma Stars with the roster that they have. This is a place where I think Alessandro Canali can, you know, find that nose for the goal and just pop up in the right place at the right moment in the area. I really like to see Canali out there on this free kick unit. He's not really featured a whole lot in that 5 when you have that dangerous free kick. But he's somebody who, like you mentioned earlier, he finds himself in the right positions. He's a foot away from the ball. If it comes in his vicinity, he can get his help, find himself a goal.
He's a lot like an Alex Megson late in his career, a guy that just finds his way around the goal. And I remember a goal that Alex scored where he puts his foot on top of the ball and scoops it up over the goalkeeper from 3 yards. And that's kind of who Canale is a little bit. He has a lot of that flavor. And it looks like we are going to see him on there. So you called it, Peyton. Here he goes. You have Gonzalez, Mendoza, Caceres, Ramos along with him.
And Moises Gonzalez is going to be your big body. He's going to go to the top of the arc. Nani Mendoza is short side to Caceres' left. Complete opposite side of the field from the ball is Mike Ramos down low and Alessandro Canali. Caceres walks up. Gonzalez goes for its far post. Canali, it falls to his feet. Unfortunate that he can't get that ball settled and shot. 43 seconds remain. Are you smelling overtime tonight?
Oh, no. And there should be a top of the arc restart here. Okay, it is corrected.
The Stars were ready for it. Moises Gonzalez went immediately to the top of the arc. Caceres is to Gonzalez's right. He has a wonderful left foot. 3-man wall. Mendoza and Gonzalez are over the top of it. Gonzalez on the walk-up. Plays Mendoza. Back for Gonzalez, and it's up and over the top netting. 41 seconds left. Do the Strikers have the guts to go with a 6th attacker here? Are they going to put it all on the line?
I'm going to say yes. I think that is what we'll see.
So far, no sign of that pink Route 66 jersey has been shown. But if you're going to do it all game, why not do it with 41 seconds remaining on the clock in a tie game?
Will Tacoma press the 6th attacker? That's the next question. It's such an interesting tactical night tonight, Peyton.
I'm telling you, it's the kitchen sink and more.
Well, and Pereira's talking to Kyle Rivers, Tyler John, Adrian Correa, and Logan Jones right now. So it looks like Caceres will go on with them, but that is the team to defend and press and see if they can find a half chance here.
And I mean, this is nearly your penalty kill unit. Jones, Rivers, Caceres, John, and Correa. Your usual penalty kill unit is Caceres, Rivers, Correa, and Jones. John occasionally when one of those is unavailable, but these 5 are essentially your penalty kill. So the Tacoma Stars are very well prepared for either the goalkeeper or the 6th attacker to be on the field and just going forward immediately from the jump. I'm amazed that Orozco is going to start with this ball in his hands and that it's not going to start with the 6th attacker.
Well, he may run right off the field, so we'll see.
No pink jersey in sight. But I imagine Orozco is going to get himself up the right-hand wing. Long throw. Goalkeeper stays home. Palmer plays a long volley. Mock watches it off the windows. 30 seconds. Roll out Correa. Stars don't go for a change. Save 5. The speedy 5. John chests this ball down, under 20 seconds to play. Correa tries to go square for Rivers. 5 seconds on the clock. Bouncing ball, Stars aren't going to have a chance for a shot. John's going to strike it anyway. It's after the horn, and if you signed up for free soccer, you found the place. We're headed to overtime. 5-5. Talk about those 60 minutes of regulation there, Derek.
Well, if you're Tacoma, you feel a little bit disappointed here. You've had a season of these where you feel like you might be walking away with 3 points, and now you're headed to overtime. So the Milwaukee result is certainly something that's going to be in their head, and they want to reverse the script. So we always had a saying that overtime either ends in the first 30 seconds or it goes the distance. So we'll see if we find lightning in a bottle here and the game ends, or if this gets drawn out a little bit and we see some more sixth attacker from Empire.
We'll step aside, take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Overtime coming up next on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
The Tacoma Stars are back and they're ready to turn things up a notch. Don't miss out on your chance to see the Stars in action live this season at the Accesso Showwear Center. Experience the fast-paced action of Tacoma Stars soccer for yourself. Head to www.tacomastars.com or call 253-856-6999 to get your tickets to an upcoming game today.
Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's Derek Johnson as we get ready for overtime. And we've seen some crazy games here at the Showwear Center in Kent so far this season. To kick things off, we saw the Stars top San Diego in the opening game, and it was a great one. Immediately after that, it was an overtime game that went to a shootout against the Chihuahua Savage. And that game went about 8 rounds of shootout. Nick Pereira was incredible, but Stars fell short. Seen some games here, and now we find ourselves into this situation. An overtime game against the Empire Strykers. 2 teams that play each other so close each and every time they play. There's always something mysterious going on. And tonight, our new twist to the tale is overtime in a game that's seen so many different tactical changes. We don't know where to begin to tell the story. Derek, 10 minutes on the clock, like you said, it's either lightning in the bottle or goes the distance. What are your predictions here? Pick one.
I'm going to go lightning in a bottle. I think there's going to be a quick goal here, and I'm gonna go in favor of Tacoma. Maybe that's just hopeful, but I think it's time to turn the page on what's happened so far this season and move on to some victories.
So take a look at your 5 on the field, then if it's going to happen quick, who is it of those 5? You have Gonzalez, John, Souza, Hansen, and Caceres, or do you get a man off the bench?
I'm going to go with John here. He has been extremely active tonight. He's scored a goal or 2 one goal. And he's just been a guy that's been a handful for Empire. So he's my take here.
Stars get underway. It's John who's the target directly. John, top of the arc. Can he do it? He dribbles in the left foot shot. Oh, Derek, you almost had it.
He'll want that one back. He tried to make one little extra move that probably wasn't necessary.
Here's John. Can he redeem himself? Souza, step over. Back for Caceres. Stinson wins this. It's a transition play. Souza's trying to get all the way back. Stinson goes to ground. A really late whistle. Souza and Stinson both hit the turf. They're both staying down. And I don't know, what do you think about that foul there, Derek? Because just before, Souza gets kind of the same physicality that Stinson gave him, gives it right back. Maybe a little tangle in the foot there when you watch the replay?
Yeah, it looks like he just trips over him a little bit there. I think the right call for the foul. Not sure it was that intense that the two of them made it out to be.
Goalkeeping change again every other quarter, so now DeLima's on the field. And he does go forward as a sixth attacker here. Early stages of overtime, it's golden goal situation, and you have your goalkeeper all the way out of the net at the midfield stripe, begging the Tacoma Stars to win possession and try and hit a long shot, which they already have today. Aguirre, this is Stinson, top of your screen. And he's just trying to work Adrian Correa into pressuring him. He goes left foot, and it's up and over into the netting. 90 seconds gone by in this overtime period. Caceres wanted too many men on the field, and now there wasn't enough men on the field for Empire. Their substitutions have got to get it together over there on the bench. Ramos with a good touch in the center circle. I think we as watchers of soccer kind of take for granted how good the touches of these players. That line drive driven ball that's waist high and these guys just bring down. Yes, it bounces once or twice on the turf, but that's just naturally because of the hard surface. These guys have some excellent touches and they keep it inside that imaginary hula hoop that falls underneath them.
Well, that's the difference between indoor soccer and outdoor soccer player. You can take a great outdoor soccer player, but they may not fit the mold of an indoor soccer player because that's one of the pre have to be able to have that. And that pushes a lot of these guys and makes them desirable soccer teams is their ability to receive a ball and play a driven diagonal ball like you mentioned, things that go into that make the indoor soccer player unique.
Ball down on the near side, DeLima. He's going to take a strike. Imagine a goalkeeper with a goal. Jones, he gets pushed by Hansen. Two big bodies going at it. Here's Gonzalez. Spur. Curler! Nearly got it. Briscoe.
He wants it again. You see him on the far side calling for it.
Spur again, and Gonzalez was on the backside waiting for it. John doesn't let this block, and he gets slammed into the boards. Blue card on the way. Acevedo's got a one-way ticket to the penalty box. 2 minutes and the Stars go on the power play here in overtime.
And it's Tyler John getting there first again. I think unexpected there. 50-50 ball along the boards. Tyler John gets there, pokes it away, and then takes the foul. Clever play from Tyler to get there before the Empire player.
So the Stars now with an opportunity to put the game away. They scored shorthanded earlier. Let's see if they can score on the power play. Spur, Ramos, Caceres, Mendoza, Gonzalez. Caceres with a strike. Good block by Palmer. Hits off the lip of the boards, and it's just shoved downfield. Caceres has to settle and avoids a little bit of pressure. Gonzalez from distance. Palmer blocks again. Caceres thought about it. 1 minute, 20 seconds left in this power play. Mendoza, first time, he crossed it, looking for Ramos. Caceres keeps it in. I think if the Stars don't put things away here, we're going to get in some danger time. Mendoza has Spur on the weak side. Caceres left foot strike, no. It's Spur. Gonzalez, he's got some real estate in front of him. His shot, good save, and it's pushed away by De Lima. Caceres. Ramos, 35 seconds on the power play. It's got to be all or nothing here for the Stars. Gonzalez, he turns his back. He's going to get heavy pressure. Ramos lays off for Caceres, but it's on his weak foot. Mendoza, one-on-one situation. It's Caceres! He just misses. That was the best opportunity of the moment. Caceres again, it's high. Spur. This ball's pushed away. 3 seconds and the power play is going to be over. Caceres is going to have pressure coming out of the boards. We're back to even strength. Caceres lines it up. It's low. It's pushed. It's up into the netting. No call. Ramos has to retreat. This is Acevedo. Spur wins the challenge. Spur trying to break out. It's a good ball in for Mendoza, but Robert Palmer reads it like a book. Stinson settles. Correa takes off. Jersey tug on Correa. The crowd wanted a handball. I'm surprised that that ball doesn't come back to the corner where it comes up over the netting. I'm surprised that that call was not made for the Stars to have a corner kick at full strength.
Yeah, and you could see Spur was kind of waiting for the whistle to get blown, and then, oh, it didn't get blown, and I have to play on. Just got to adapt to that. Sometimes the calls miss. Sometimes it's hard to see. But disappointing if you're Tacoma. You'd love to have that set piece there.
Just over 3 minutes here in the overtime period. John trying to turn Palmer, but that is an impossible task. Here's Hansen on the breakout. Canale in pursuit. De Lima gets all the way forward. Ball bouncing around. Caceres with a clearance. That ball bounces once and goes over the glass. Jones subs on. Jones, John, River, Correa, and Caceres, that fast defensive unit. They're ready to break out at any given moment. Derek, this one's likely going the distance.
It's going the distance. We had the chance for the lightning in a bottle in the first minute, and here we are with 2 minutes on the clock. So we'll see.
Unless Hansen finds himself into a dangerous situation. He's been a thorn in the side of the Tacoma Stars all night long. Here he is. Centers it. Bouncing ball. John, he's up the other way. Advantage called. Hansen with a strike. Mocked with a good save. Pushed away. Stinson settles. Chip ball forward. Aguirre, 90 seconds on the clock. Stinson now in front of his own bench. Crowd greeting Aguirre with some boos.
Looks like Empire content to whittle the clock down to the last shot here. Keeping the ball, we are nearly under a minute.
Caceres for Correa. Stinson goes to ground. Well, the Stars were going to have a chance at a long-distance goal.
Yeah, wouldn't that be an interesting way to end the night with an empty netter, 50 seconds left? That would have been something.
Long ball, Canale, target 45 seconds. He falls to ground. Ramos lays it back for Caceres. Jones lays off for a sprinting Ramos forward. Canale pokes out Ramos. Jones touches down 20 seconds. So on a weekend where you have back-to-back games, a little double-header action going on within 24 hours of each other, you get 70 minutes worth of soccer. Long diagonal ball might fall to Canale. He falls to ground. 5 seconds to play. Ramos tries to turn. Briscoe with a strike. No. And a shootout's on the way.
More soccer, Peyton. More soccer. The night continues.
Saturday nights are made for soccer, Derek, and you're getting it here at the Showware.
It seems like fortune has to favor Tacoma at this point. You've had so many of these games with crazy results and crazy finishes and overtime losses and shootout losses. It seems like it's time. Tacoma needs to step up, win this shootout, and head to California with a win under their belt.
And no Nick Pereira in the shootout, who against Chihuahua, he called his own number multiple times. And I don't know if you've seen Pereira's run up on his penalty shootouts this year. Unique move. He juggles the ball, pops it up into the air, thigh juggle a couple of times, and then hits a rocket of a volley. Unfortunately, he's only 50% on conversions on those. I believe he's 2 for 4 on those attempts.
I think who you're going to see here is Gonzalez, Spur, and Mendoza. I think those are the selections from Pereira here. 3 guys that definitely have some skill in their repertoire and ability to take guys on one-on-one, so expect to see some moves. We've also seen Gonzalez absolutely crush the ball on these shootouts, so wouldn't be surprised to see him come up and just give it a go. So we'll see what they have to offer. I know Spur is definitely a guy that can beat you on the dribble. Mendoza can do the same, but I think between those 3 players, you give Tacoma a great chance to win this game.
And Chris Toth, who hasn't played tonight, he's warming up, jersey on, he's ready to go. You might see Chris Toth get in between the sticks for the shootout.
You'd love to see it. Sub him in for the shootout. That's he's a guy that comes up in clutch moments. He's a guy that's seen tons and tons of these shootouts, and you got to think Mach probably hasn't seen that, so good to put Chris in and let him finish off this game. Interesting warm-up, though. Not often do you warm up to just go in for shootouts. We saw Beretta do it once last year when Toth was blue-carded, but not something that you're usually prepared for, stepping in and doing a shootout cold.
And earlier this season, the shootout that was hosted here between Tacoma Stars and Chihuahua, Reynoso took the first 2 shootouts and then subbed himself out, and they brought a new keeper on for the remainder of shootout, and Chihuahua ended up topping that game, and they got the win in the shootout. It was incredible stuff to see.
There's something to be said for self-awareness. I would trust Diego Reynoso in a heartbeat, but if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. And if Toth is feeling it tonight, get the hot hand in, let him make the saves, go win the game.
So now with the shootouts, you get 5 seconds on the run-up now. It's nearly similar to the old-school MLS shootouts that we saw in the 90s. You get a dribble up. The keeper is free to charge if he desires. The shot must be taken and completed by that 5-second mark and cross the line to go in. It's a best-of-3 shootout. Following that, if the 2 teams remain tied, it is sudden death.
And it looks like Mach is going to be taking the first shootout here. So Toth is prepared. He's ready to go, but they're letting Mach have the night, and let's see what he can do here.
Shooting first for umpire, number 7, Jorge De Leon.
De Leon runs up the rollout. It's off the top bar. It's straight down. There's no signal for a goal. And they're going to go to video review on this first one. Incredible. Just the twist that is happening tonight is the very first shootout attempt is going to be taking a look at video review.
Man, we have been at the monitor many times tonight, Peyton. It's a good addition to the game, but man, have we been there a lot tonight. A lot of close calls. And this one as well, that is very difficult to tell. And it appears to hit the line. So if they're seeing what I'm seeing, it looks like that ball hits the line and comes right back out. So I'm going to guess no goal here, but that angle is very difficult to tell.
Referee's trying to maybe get one last look here. Ball comes down and it looks like it's directly on that line. And remember, full ball has to cross over the line. And also, no goal was called on the field, so you're going to need clear and concise evidence in order to let this count as a goal.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell where it hits the post there because there's a black bar that's right behind that red post. And the question is, did it hit the red or did it hit the black?
No goal.
Now shooting for the Stars, number 22,
Nani Mendoza over the top of the ball. We remember his heroics from at Kansas City last year. Called his own number in the shootout multiple times. Here comes Mendoza. Rolls forward. He slots it just wide. Both teams 0 for 1 after the first frame. Stinson offers Mendoza a hand of grace as he walks up. Stinson carries many friendship still from his time with Tacoma Stars, but right now he's looking to get past Donald Mock. Stinson on the run-up. Mock with the save. He gets wide, he gets low, and he denies Justin Stinson.
Got to be a great feeling there. Your first game, you're trusted with the shootout. You step up and make that save. Well done.
Spur. He approaches. Spur. Easy money, slots it home. Big chance for Mock here to end it tonight. Can he deny all 3 of these first shooters for the Empire Strykers? Walter Diaz. He's on the run up. And he's wide! The Stars get a shootout win! Donald Mock comes in, and he wins the Stars the game tonight. The Stars win 6-5. The Strykers don't score in the shootout, and the Stars got exactly what they needed to kick off the weekend.
And it just felt like a long time coming. They were due for this one. And lo and behold, it's the rookie goalkeeper who steps up and saves the day. What a finish for Tacoma, and what an important victory to put them back on track for this season. So kudos to them, kudos to Tacoma, kudos to the guys that stepped up tonight in the absence of Pereira, of Toth, of Keats, of Torres, all the guys that were out tonight that are potentially being saved for tomorrow. So they'll turn around really quick. Tomorrow it's at Empire, and we'll see if they can repeat it.
And both these teams, they got to look to that travel. And, you know, that's the thing with this is, you know, we like to think, oh, the Tacoma Stars have a tough turnaround time, but Empire's got to go out. They got to do the same thing. And obviously, they didn't travel a couple of guys, including Marco Fabian. He's likely to be in that lineup tomorrow and being able to produce. And you should see a really good game down in Empire tomorrow between these two sides. If it's going to be anything like tonight, get your tickets. Go there and go and see that game tomorrow night. Empire Strykers are going to host the Tacoma Stars. And these matchups mean everything. Tacoma has played every game except for that Chihuahua matchup, so close to one another. And they just come off the overtime game at Milwaukee. They go into this game, overtime shootout. And Donald Mocht is the hero that is being loved by every last Tacoma Star teammate on the field. He's going to get his lap of honor before fans start pouring onto the field for some post-game autographs. What a moment, what a night for Donald Mocht. .65 is going to be your final score. The Tacoma Stars top the Empire Strykers. It was a good one at the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. For Derek Johnson, for Max Lockhart, Walter Velas, and everybody back at Mission Control, I'm Peyton Behrens. Thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast, the Tacoma Stars on MASL TV. Good night, everyone.